Bubby Gill, who did have 2 catches a week ago, is out, a new addition to the injured reserve, but he was a guy that had only made a couple of appearances so far this season, so they're back pretty much at full strength at the wide receiver position. But a couple of guys out on the defensive line stand that were in last week. Bobby Payne, the starting nose guard in all 4 previous games, was placed on injured reserve this week. A foot problem, and Rico Reese, banged up, has been in the starting lineup since Michael Landry went out for the last couple of games, has been active each game, but Rico banged up. He is out. Brandon Jenkins, who had been injured all season long, finally healthy, and they are going to put him in that defensive end spot.
Brandon Jenkins will get his first start of the year, and Michael Landry, who was a starter for Kansas City as a defensive end to start the season and actually was with the Brigade back in 2006, a well-known commodity around these parts, is back from IR, and he's going to play the nose guard position for Bobby Payne. And you said it well, Rico Reese, Bobby Payne, 2 guys that played a lot last week are not going to be in the lineup, replaced by Michael Landry and Brandon Jenkins. And when you look at the offensive side, you mentioned Robert Gill not playing, but a lot of talk about Tommy Saunders and his career at Missouri and the Kansas City Brigade signing him this week. He is not going to play this week. He is working on getting the playbook down and getting up to full speed. Probably next week he'll be in the lineup, but not this week. There's been a lot written about him, a lot talked about, but Tommy Saunders will not be playing tonight for the Command.
And a couple of absences for Arizona. 2 of their top receivers, Nate Force with 18 catches and 6 touchdowns. Jason Geathers, 19 catches, 4 touchdowns. Both of those guys did not make the trip. They are not in uniform here tonight. We'll see Glenn Fox and Kerry Reed instead, so we'll watch that for you as the game progresses. The injury report brought to you by the University of Kansas Hospital, ranked by U.S. News & World Report as best regional hospital in Kansas City, and proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Command. For more information, visit them at kumed.com. Time now for our opponent breakdown. And Stan, when you think about the Arizona Rattlers, who kind of survived a real tough game against Orlando at home a week ago, they went for 2 late in the ballgame, scoring with 8 seconds remaining, went for 2 and the win, got it to win by a single point, 48-47, but that moves them to 4-0. They're obviously going to be a tough test for the Kansas City Command here tonight.
Arizona has a great history when you think about the AFL. Twice they've won the Arena Bowl in 1994 and 1997. They've made the Arena Bowl 5 times. But, Nick, they've never started a season 5-0. And if they can win here tonight in Kansas City, it'll be the first time that they started 5-0. You mentioned they're ranked number 1 in all of the AFL, even with that close loss. They're behind 21-0, but still came back and won the game in the end. I think when you look at this ball club, the most interesting aspect of it is Rod Windsor. Rod Windsor is a guy who is in the NFL and trying to make the Cleveland Browns right now. But with the lockout, he is allowed to do whatever he wants. The players are kind of able to do whatever they want. Some of them are boxing. He is coming back to where he played last year. And last year when he played, it was unbelievable. Arena Football League record, 193 receptions, 2,372 yards receiving, and 49 touchdown receptions. This is a big-time guy. He looks like an NFL player. He did last year for Arizona. He is back now, and he'll be a starter and the guy you've got to watch when you watch this Arizona offense go.
A couple of scores from the Arena Football League so far this week. Dallas beat Milwaukee at American Airlines Center on Thursday night, 49-21. Tampa Bay beat Philadelphia. Suddenly the Soul, 1-4, expected to be one of the top 5 teams in the league going into the year. They have struggled and got beat on the NFL Network last night in their home opener. And Utah beat Spokane 69-62. The Arena Bowl runners-up or the Arena Bowl champions from a year ago, now 1-4 themselves. And among games tonight, Orlando takes on Georgia, New Orleans against Cleveland, Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, San Jose and Tulsa, and Chicago plays Iowa in a big National Conference Central Division battle. The Rush still atop the division with a 3-1 record. Vigilantes 3-2, Iowa 2-2, Kansas City 1-3, as is Tulsa, as we head into action here this evening. We'll take a time out, come back with our visit with the head coach of the Command, Danton Bardo, after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I figured out what the problem was.
Kansas City, get on your feet. Let's hear it for your Kansas City Command. Ladies and gentlemen, as we honor America and the men and women serving our country at home and abroad, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart. Tonight's
Whatever you want, whatever you need, the low price is guaranteed. You can have it now, you don't have to wait. You can buy a lease to own the Aaron's way. Nobody beats Aaron's, nobody, nobody, nobody beats Aaron's, nobody.
It's like ever since we got here, they've turned into, what's the word?
Kids?
Right.
It's amazing what this land called Colorado can do. There's just something about Colorado that lets families plug into each other instead of gadgets, creating memories instead of text messages. And isn't that what a family vacation is supposed to be about? Whether you're nature watching along the trails of a national park, watching the kids pan for real nuggets at a working gold mine, or just reliving the day over dinner on a mountainside patio, you'll be creating the memories of a lifetime in a land called Colorado. Plan your best summer ever today at Colorado.com.
I really like them as kids.
Me too.
Danton Bardo and Coach, got win number one off your belt. Obviously, a huge relief for everybody involved with the team, and you played really well in a solid win against Iowa. Arizona coming up tonight against Iowa, 62-48. Talk about the victory against the Barnstormers.
Well, it was huge for us. Obviously we didn't want to lose another game. We had a tough road trip to start out. Iowa was coming in with a lot of momentum, winning two big games, against Spokane and San Jose. But, so I think it was a great victory for us, especially, to kind of boost us and show us, hey, this is a team that beat two teams we lost to. And, I thought we outplayed them all night.
Your offense probably didn't play as well as you played in a game or two, at least this year. San Jose comes to mind, but your defense played their best game of the year so far, no doubt about it, forcing 4 turnovers. Obviously, turnovers are a way to get a stop in this game, and it's huge anytime you can get the offense of the other team to turn the ball over.
Yeah, it's big, and that's what we were, looking for from our defense from game one. They came alive. We got some pressure on the quarterback pretty much all night. We were pretty consistent there. Our defensive backs, especially Sergio, played a phenomenal game. We've been looking for that. Obviously offensively, I thought we kind of struggled a little bit there, late second, early third, coming out. But we kind of got back on track in the fourth quarter. But, I'm not worried about us offensively. If our defense keeps playing that way, we've got a chance to win every game.
Your secondary has really been solid most of the season, despite the fact you've had a rotation of guys in there due to injuries. Eric Harris and Kenneth Fontenette, guys that are out right now. Just talk about the play of that secondary and kind of finding maybe a diamond in the rough in Sergio Gillum, who really played well against Iowa.
Yeah, Sergio's he's a guy that's really played well for us all, every time we put him on the field. So, he's a smart football player. He understands when to take chances, when not. That's a credit to really, I have to give the credit to Terrence Claudebaum, our coach. Terrence has done a great job of getting those guys to understand what we're trying to do, and it doesn't matter. And that's what we keep stressing. We're a team. Somebody goes down, somebody's got to step up, and we've been lucky. We've kind of been able to do that all year. Hopefully, tonight we continue on that.
Schedule doesn't get any easier. You had a tough 3-game road trip to start. The game against Iowa, who was playing well, and now Arizona, a team that a lot of folks consider the top team in the league right now. They're 4-0. What do you see from the Rattlers as they come into Sprint Center here tonight?
They're just, they're a solid football team. They're a playoff caliber team. They don't beat themselves. That's the biggest thing that jumps out. They play good defense. Obviously, they're ranked number 1 in scoring defense. They're hard to score on. They give you a lot of underneath stuff and come up and tackle. And on offense, they just try not to beat themselves. They've got, very good skill players, and they do a good job of getting those guys in open field. So, we got a work cut out for us. They're a good team, but, I believe we're a good football team too.
They get good pressure on the quarterback. That's going to obviously be one of the keys. Your offensive line has actually played pretty well this season, but going to be real key to give J.J. time to throw the football.
Yeah, they've done a great job of getting pressure, and that's always a key for us. If we can just sit in there and obviously and protect, and if we can protect, I think JJ will make the right decisions and find the guys that are open. It's a cliche, but I always say it starts up front with us on both sides of the ball. If we can protect and we can pass rush, we've got a chance to win every game.
Their head coach is Kevin Guy, a guy you were familiar with. You both spent a lot of time in AF2. What have you seen from his teams in the past, and do you think that that having met before, there'll be some familiarity with the other side?
Yeah, I mean, we've played a bunch when you look back in AF2 time. One thing that jumps out is, his teams always play tough, play physical, and play smart football, and that's that's kind of been his forte, and, that's what I expect to see tonight, a very physical, tough football game.
Couple of roster changes. Final thought, new offensive lineman. You brought in Tommy Saunders. I assume he's not going to be active yet, but he's an addition for this team as well, and a new guy, a new face in the secondary as well.
Yeah, those were guys, we've been kind of gambling here, traveling 3 offensive linemen, which is, is a huge gamble. We brought in Ryan Holstrom. He's a guy that's, young guy, knows how to play, has been with the New England Patriots. We see a lot of upside in him. If something happened, we feel comfortable with him going in. We've got Jeremy Gray. Jeremy started the year with Tulsa. We like Jeremy. He's a lot like Sergio, long and lanky. He's a physical guy. This will be his first action tonight. And Tommy, we expect a lot of big things from Tommy. I mean, Tommy showed us a lot this week in practice. We just felt that it's a lot to try to get a guy to learn the whole offense in 1 week. So, Tommy, we'll have him ready to go for next week, and I'm looking forward to the addition of all those guys.
Sounds great, Coach. Thanks for your time, and good luck tonight.
All right, Nick, thanks.
That's Danton Bardo, back with kickoff of the Kansas City Command and the Arizona Rattlers after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get your football fix. Arena football is back. Feel the rush when the Kansas City Command take the field at Sprint Center for the 2011 season. From high-flying catches to non-stop hard-hitting plays, your family won't want to miss a minute of fast-paced action. Season tickets for the 9-game home schedule start at just $100 and are on sale now by calling 816-949-7177 or SprintCenter.com. Get your football fix now.
Welcome back inside Sprint Center. Only about 30 seconds from kickoff here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. The Kansas City Command won the toss and have elected to defer to the second half, so Arizona will have the football first. Danton Bardo joked this week that he might consider trying to take the football first. They started so well last week and played so well with a lead, never trailing in the game against Iowa, but the obvious strategy in the AFL, even more than the outdoor game, Stan, is to kick away and try and have the football first or last at the end of the first half, and then first at the start of the second half.
Yeah, if you can get to halftime with a tie, you have a giant advantage of being the team that gets the football first to start the second half. Now, if you're receiving in the first half, you hope to have at least one touchdown lead at the half, but it is right to defer to start the game.
Ryan Umstead kicks off to Virgil Gray, the Arizona return man, low off the rebound net, and now picked up by the safety man, who returns it out to about the 9-yard line for the Arizona Rattlers. Riley Swanson, the cornerback, had to pick that one up as Gray couldn't handle it off the rebound net. So Nick Davila, 25-year-old quarterback out of the University of Cincinnati, broke AFL rookie and team records for passing yards, touchdowns, and completion percentage a year ago. Has obviously played well to start this season, 23 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, but 3 of those coming last week, just like J.J. Ratterink, a bit of an off night for him a week ago. But his first pass is complete out on the right side to Trandon Harvey. Harvey, a 481-yard, 13-touchdown season thus far, ranks 8th in the AFL in receiving yards per game with 120, had 117 yards on 4 touchdown catches last week, including the game-winning catch on a 2-point conversion that won them the game by a point over Orlando. So here's a 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. That last game was 13. Back to pass goes the left-handed Davila, wide open on a crossing route underneath. Pass is caught and taken by Rod Windsor all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. 28-yard scoring strike as Windsor was wide open underneath the zone, Stan Weber, and you mentioned it in the pregame. If there is one guy you do not want to leave alone, it is Rod Windsor. That was too easy.
They had 3 receivers to the left, and that meant the right side of the field was pretty open. So all he did is go up the field and cut to the right, and when he caught the football, he was easily able to take it in for a touchdown, but clearing it out, Trandon Harvey went deep. That allowed the opening over the middle, a good design play, and a touchdown for Arizona.
And the extra point is up and good from a new kicker, Fabrizio Scaccia, who is under contract with the San Francisco 49ers, and they brought him in this week after Joe Schroeder struggled a little bit last week. And so they bring in a new kicker. We'll keep it here for this first time out so we can finish giving you our starting lineups. Stan and I talked too much in the open, so in the pregame. So we'll give you the starting lineups here. We mentioned Harvey and then Rod Windsor, who caught that opening touchdown pass, 250 yards on 18 catches thus far for him and 3 touchdowns, making just his second start tonight, as I think maybe he's battled a little bit of injury in the early goings of the season. But Stan mentioned he set 10 Rattlers records a year ago and 5 AFL records, and winning Rookie of the Year honors, getting 2,300-plus yards receiving and 47 touchdowns, plus 7 rushing touchdowns a year ago in a fantastic season. Kerry Reed also getting the start tonight, a 6'2", 205-pounder out of Michigan State. This is his first start. We'll also see Glenn Fox, the other active wide receiver for Arizona. Their offensive line is Steve Edwards, Brennan Carvajo, and Devin Clark. And the fullback is Odie Armstrong, who has 13 carries for 28 yards and 3 touchdowns. Defensively for the Kansas City Command, 2 new starters on that defensive line, although one is coming back from injury. That's Michael Landry. He'll play the nose. He played defensive end the first couple of games of the season, but an injury to Bobby Payne has put Landry at nose tackle. Rico Reese is out. Brandon Jenkins gets his first start tonight. Brian Robinson, the other defensive end, as this kickoff is short and fielded by Christian Wise, 6 yards deep. He returns it out across the 5. Horse collar tackled by Odie Armstrong at the 7. And a flag comes out for probably what will be an illegal tackle here on, maybe this. The Arizona folks are saying this is against Kansas City. So we'll check the penalty. Right now the return is brought out to the 7-yard line, but it may be backed up half the distance. It is an illegal block in the back. Quickly to finish the defensive lineup for Kansas City, it's Tyus Jackson and Bradley Chavez at the linebacker positions. Jackson, the MAC linebacker, he can rush the quarterback. Carlton Brown and Sergio Gillum starting at defensive back, along with Jeremy Gray getting his first start of the season after being signed by the Command this week. Jenkins has been with the team since camp, but has been injured. Gray, a new addition entirely to the roster. So here's the starters for the Kansas City Command. Rattlers going back to pass, throws underneath. Pass is intended for Steven Savoy, but maybe pass interference going to be called against Virgil Gray here.
Virgil Gray got there just a little bit early. It's a fairly deep crossing pattern. He made a good play on the ball, but he did hit the back of the Kansas City receiver, and that'll be a penalty.
So this will be a first down for the Kansas City Command out to the 13-yard line. J.J. Rattlers gets the start at quarterback, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He is number 1 in the AFL in yards per game at 319, but his rating took a hit last week with the 3 interceptions against Iowa. Steven Savoy was just the intended receiver on that last pass. We'll also have Brett Smith and Aaron Hosack out there to start the football game. Here is Rattlers back to pass. He's going to run it out to the left side. Got popped at the very end of the play as he was trying to give himself up on the boards over there. No flag for that. It's a 3-yard gain to the 16. We've got at the offensive line Rich Ranglin, Kamani Jones at center, and Cornelius Dixon. And the fullback is Victor Mann out of Kansas State. 8 carries, 31 yards, and a touchdown for Mann this year.
The fullback and the offensive line have been the same every play of the year so far. They have done a nice job blocking, and they've been very durable.
So here is Smith in motion. He's the leading receiver for this squad, 10th in the AFL in receiving yards. Back to pass goes Rattlers, finds Smith right on cue. Caught across midfield. Good for a first down. Looks like they'll mark him about the 21 into Rattlers territory. And that's a gain of 16 on the play. The starters on defense for Arizona, Kyle Harrington, Antaj Hawthorne, and Marcus Pittman along the front. Tyree Glasper and Kevin McCullough are the linebackers. McCullough will be the jack linebacker. Riley Swanson, Vince Hill, and Marquise Floyd start in the secondary, but Virgil Gray, the main kick returner, will play a lot. Gray got essentially what led to the game-winning drive for Arizona with 27 seconds getting a pick on Orlando last week. Here's Rattlers flush from the pocket again, and he is going to be brought down for a loss of 2 back at the 23. And Stan, one of the strengths of this Arizona Rattlers defense is getting to the quarterback. They lead the AFL in sacks.
And a guy who does such a great job as a MAC linebacker, Tyree Glasper. He was there with Marcus Pittman on this play, forcing the quarterback to be tackled for a loss. But they do a great job getting a push up the middle with that MAC linebacker who basically rushes on every play. But it's been a strength, and this defense has been so strong for Arizona this season. They're best in the Arena Football League.
2nd and 11 with Savoy in motion. Rattlers going to look for him down the middle of the field. A lot of pushing and shoving between Savoy and Virgil Gray, and the flag comes out once again. The pass did not connect with Savoy, but again, a potential pass interference. It is pass interference against the defense, and the chains will move once again for the Kansas City Command. It will be 1st and goal. Not just short of 1st and goal.
It's a maximum 10-yard penalty in the league on a pass interference. So even though he's down by the 1-yard line, the maximum penalty is 10 yards. But this is the 2nd pass interference penalty. Already 20 yards of penalty yardage against Arizona. They're best in the league. They average giving up only 32 yards. Dan Bartow said in the pregame interview that you had with him, they do not make many mistakes. So they made 2 already tonight.
Here's Rattlers at the 11, throwing for the back of the end zone, but too high, and that one hit the crossbar underneath the rebound nets, and that's a live ball. You can catch it off the net. Almost a mistake there from Rattlers. Luckily, it hit the bar hard and rattled off, and no one able to make a play on it from Arizona. But when you throw that ball away, Stan, you got to make sure it does not hit that rebound net.
That's right. When you overthrow receivers, you can't just airmail it because it'll come off that net. It's a pretty easy interception. That time he got lucky, like you said, the ball dove to the ground. Plus, if you throw it sideways, the fans get to keep the football, so don't throw it to the net.
Here's Savoy in motion, slot right. Rattlers with time, looking for Savoy, end zone. Touchdown, the Kansas City Command. Get on the scoreboard. An extra point will tie the game. Trail it early here, 7-0, but with 9:15 to go here in the first quarter, the Command can square up this football game at 7.
Good route on a little flag route, corner, and nice throw by Rattlers. And it's nice to have Steven Savoy back. He's been a starter throughout the season, did not play the last game against Iowa, but Brett Smith, Steven Savoy, Aaron Hozak, that's the receivers that Kansas City loves to use, and they've got them all available tonight.
Extra point is good. We'll take a timeout with 8:52 to play first quarter, 7-7. Rattlers in command, tied up early here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
You're listening to the most powerful sports station in the country. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City, the power of sports.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
This is Salif Diarra, a local health worker in a remote village in Mali, West Africa. This is Mori, a child who survived malaria because of Salif's efforts. This is Bintu, a grateful mother, one of many in Salif's village. This is you, becoming part of the story. Help local health workers like Salif make the good go even further. Visit goodgoes.org to see the many ways you can help. Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Can you get long-lasting pain relief without taking pills?
30
all day? Yes. With Thermacare heat wraps.
I was surprised. I got real relief without pills.
I could actually feel the real heat of Thermacare relax and unlock my tight muscles.
Over 8 hours, Thermacare is more effective for back pain than the maximum dose of acetaminophen, the medicine in Tylenol.
No pills, no pain, just relief.
Try Thermacare heat wraps. Go to thermacare.com for a $3 off coupon now. Use as directed.
Kickoff goes out of bounds out of the back of the end zone. An excellent kickoff from Brian Umstead just over the head of the kick returner and right between the crossbars. And so that ball will come out to the 5-yard line. And coaches will take that kickoff every time, Stan Weber, and limit the return potential for the opposition.
Especially against Arizona. They do a very nice job. They're a thick football team. They block well on kickoff returns, and he kicked it exactly where it was unreturnable.
And back to pass on first down from the 5-yard line is Davila as flags fly, 2 separate flags flying. The pass completed to Trandon Harvey up to the 19-yard line, but we'll see what the flags are about.
It's against Arizona.
The motion man, Rod Windsor, was offsides. And that's a 10-yard penalty out in the middle of the field, but
it's 2.5
just half the distance to the goal when it's on the 5-yard line. But it does negate a 14-yard gain.
The I-motion guy is the guy who can run and sprint toward the line of scrimmage. And if you get into that neutral zone, they're going to call it on you this year. And that was the first penalty there. The quarterback, Nick Davila, a left-hander, does a nice job of reading defenses. That time he looked to his first target. He was covered, and he went to his second one real smoothly.
Snap taken by Davila's throw is going to be complete. He bobbled it and looked like he dropped it late. Reed makes the catch, his first catch of the season for the Rattlers, out at the 14-yard line.
When you look at the Arizona receiving corps, you really have the 2 superstars. Trandon Harvey, who's their leading receiver, second leading receiver in the league. Rod Windsor, the guy we talked about, that's really a Cleveland Brown or trying to become one in the NFL. Then you got 2 guys, Nate Force and Jason Gethers, that are really the next level, solid starter types. But they're both not here. Then you got the young guys who have no catches coming in, Glenn Fox and Kerry Reed. And tonight they're called on to play for Arizona.
It's Reed in motion, putting all 3 receivers to the right side. They toss it back to Odie Armstrong on 2nd and 1. And Armstrong has the first down and more out across the 20 to the 22-yard line, a gain of 8 yards.
Odie Armstrong is a giant. He looks like a lineman, but he has the speed of the running back. Now, running is not a big deal in this league. Not many teams rely on the running game. But Odie Anderson last year for Tulsa led the league in rushing. And he averaged 4.7 yards a carry. In the league, he usually averaged about 2.4. He averaged 4.7. So when they go to the running game, when head coach Kevin Guy calls the running plays, you better watch out because it's a legitimate strategy for this Arizona offense, and he made a great run there.
1st and 10 at the 22 for Arizona, and looks like Kansas City jumped off sides. And then it was Brian Robinson from the left side there, and he threw Davila to the ground.
That could have been a second penalty. When you get that unabated to the quarterback type of mentality, even though he's just a split second early, a split second in this league means you can get around and hit that quarterback. Just think about it, because what are the 2 of the 3 players missing are the tackles and the tight end compared to the outdoor game. So when a defensive end comes around a corner, he's right in the quarterback's grill. He threw him down. Did not get called for that. Just gets called for the offsides. But, Nick, you got to count it up. That's offsides number 1.
3rd one will result in automatic first downs for the rest of the game. Davila on 1st and 5 throws short looking for Armstrong, and it's incomplete.
Great read by Tyus Jackson, the MAC linebacker. The MAC linebacker read the play as he was running in and just grasped right onto the fullback. They're trying to throw a little screen over the middle, a little quick screen. Nothing there, so an incomplete pass.
So 2nd and 5 after the offsides penalty, and now an incompletion. Davila takes the snap with the motion man on the right side. They throw underneath for Windsor. Windsor trying to make a man miss and is going to get pushed up against the boards by Sergio Gillum. Gillum wouldn't let him around him, but he gets down to the 8-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal if the play stands, but this could be against Arizona. Nope, it's against Kansas City, holding against the defense. Penalty declined, so it will stand as a gain of 14 yards down to the 8. Actually, they're going to mark him up at the 7, so a 15-yard pickup. 1st and goal now for Arizona. Game tied at 7 with 5.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
The Command used a man-to-man defense in that situation, and they'd like to play man-to-man all the time. But this year they've been mixing it up about 50-50 man and zone, trying to keep quarterbacks off balance a little bit and to utilize their skill. When they get to where they want to be, they're going to be a man-to-man team everywhere. But it is dangerous when you're playing man-to-man against a player like Rod Windsor. When I watched the tape of him this week, I know I read some things about how he's legitimately trying to be an NFL player, but he looks different than the other guys playing. He is big time.
Here is Harvey in motion. Back to pass goes Davila with all 3 receivers to his right. The lefty throws it late, right at the goal line, and a diving catch made by Windsor inside the 1 yard line. Davila was about out of time, and that play took a long time to develop, but it's a 6 yard gain to the 1 as Windsor made a great catch.
Well, there's a great example because he was crossing from the right side to the left about a yard and a half deep in the end zone, and this ball was thrown real softly, short of the goal line, near the left sideline, and yet he came back and caught that football. Most guys wouldn't be able to get there, and he made it look easy.
And now here's a run once again, and nothing doing for the Arizona Rattlers. They handed it off to Trandon Harvey, and he lost a yard back to the 2.
Great play by Brandon Jenkins. Welcome to the active roster, the young rookie from Mississippi who's been out with a concussion the first 4 weeks. Boy, he put a square tackle on the wide receiver. And one of the things you like to do at the goal line is make an I-formation type of play, have the fullback lead and hand off to the high-motion wide receiver. They did, but they got stuffed.
Now it's going to be Reed, the motion man. All 3 receivers to the right, ball on the left hash. Back to pass goes Davila, throws for end zone, and he got Rod Windsor with the catch, a yard deep in the end zone. Windsor just kind of posted up, but a flag did fall in the end zone.
All kinds of physicality.
Illegal defense against Kansas City, and so the touchdown will stand, and Arizona goes back out front 13-7 with 3:40 to play here in the first quarter and an extra point pending.
Well, Kansas City's taking a chance right there. That's where D'Anton Bartos say, don't worry about if you're the jack linebacker staying 5 yards within the line of scrimmage. If there's a guy open in the end zone a little bit deeper, latch onto him. And so the penalty is called, but Arizona is able to execute well enough anyway, just 1 yard deep in the end zone. Over the middle, they get their second touchdown.
Scotchia's extra point is good, and we'll take a timeout with Arizona back out front. They've had the football one more possession than Kansas City, and so far everybody has scored every time they've had the ball. Arizona up 14-7, 3:16 to play in the first on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get your football fix. Arena football is back. Feel the rush when the Kansas City Command take the field at Sprint Center for the 2011 season. From high-flying catches to non-stop hard-hitting plays, your family won't want to miss a minute of fast-paced action. Season tickets for the 9-game home schedule start at just $100 and are on sale now by calling 816-949-7177 or SprintCenter.com. Get your football fix now.
At Aldi, when we talk about honest-to-goodness savings, we mean honestly, sincerely. You really do save more money when you shop at Aldi than you do at other grocery stores. This week, buy all your groceries at Aldi and see how much you save compared to other stores. We think 1 week is all it'll take to convince you, because you're not just saving on an item here or there, but on your total bill. Cart to cart, there's no beating Aldi. And that's the honest-to-goodness truth about honest-to-goodness savings. Take the 1 week challenge and see for yourself. Aldi. Honest-to-goodness savings.
This is what I've been waiting for all my life, man.
The NFL Draft is back in prime time on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Is Cam Newton possibly going number 1? I want to take a look at Missouri quarterback Blaine Gabbert.
And Sports Radio 810 will be there with the Chiefs at Arrowhead to give you the story behind every pick, analysis, and fan reactions.
With the first pick,
Kansas City's home of the National Football League. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Brought to you by Metcalf Bank, the home of Chiefs checking.
This kickoff low off the rebound net and fielded by Chavez, who is the backup man behind Christian Wise, the main returner. And I thought maybe they might get a flag on Arizona for a violation of that 5-yard halo rule. And now they are.
You can't go past the 5-yard line when you're running down on the kickoff team until the ball hits the ground or is caught by the receiving team. It was very, very close on that play and a very, very dangerous play because the mirror man had to get the ball. It came off the low iron, bounced quickly back toward where the guys are running down on the kickoff team. Chavez did a good job of securing the football at the 1, but because of the penalty, they put it out at the 3.
Here's a toss play to Victor Mann, and he gets swallowed up for a loss of a couple back to the 1.
They don't officially call it a penalty. They just said it was a touchback and put the ball out at the 2.5-yard line. But on the sweep to the left, Victor Mann got stuffed. A great penetration by the right side of the Arizona defense, and they've been good all year long They've had only one opponent gain more than 300 yards against them, and unbelievably in this league where you throw the ball so well, Tulsa got only 202 yards, and Milwaukee only had 198 yards against Arizona.
Here's Savoy, the motion man. Ratterink under pressure, but gets out of it, throws deep for Smith, but just overthrown. Smith had 3 steps on the defensive back right there, Riley Swanson, and that would have been a score if Ratterink had been able to put that ball on the money, but he overthrew Smith by a good full step.
It's a hard throw. When he got pushed out of the pocket, he had to roll to his left. He's in the end zone, worried about getting a safety, and then throwing the ball down the right sideline. I know the field's not that wide here, but still, it's not a throw you practice ever on the move. He had a guy open late, but overthrew him.
That'll be Smith in motion. He'll come to the slot right side with Savoy outside of him. Now here's Ratterink back to pass on 3rd and 11, throwing deep, and the pass broken up by Riley Swanson looking for Savoy. Savoy was behind the defense, but Swanson, a brilliant diving pass breakup, his second of the season. And
Great
now it's
play.
4th and 12.
Great play by Riley Swanson because he undercut the route, and the ball was lofted up over the top. If he would have missed it by an inch, it would have been an easy touchdown for the command. The ball was thrown very accurately, but he got his right hand on it, and with the kicking situation the way it is, and it being a 58-yard 4th down play, they're going for it.
So Ratterink back to pass on a big 4th and 12 play. They look for Savoy, and it's incomplete. Virgil Gray in defense. Spun him around just as he made contact with the football and forced the incompletion. Savoy wanted a flag, did not get it, and now Arizona will take over at the 1-yard line of Kansas City.
It's a very close call, and Danton Bartow, who as a head coach can stand behind his huddle, was able to walk right past the official and say, "Are you kidding me?" He grabbed the right hip of my receiver and spun him before the ball got there. Very close call as Virgil Gray broke on Steven Savoy. But Kansas City going for 4th down at their own goal line, not feeling like kicking is a very good option at all. Does not convert, and Arizona takes over at the 1.
And a handoff to Odie Armstrong, makes a man miss over the left side, gets to the end zone, and it's a quick touchdown. A 7-play, 45-yard drive, methodical 5+ minute drive on their last scoring drive. This one takes just 1 play to go 1 yard and take a 2-score lead with seconds running off the end of the first quarter. In fact, that will be the last play of the first quarter. I think they'll go ahead and kick the extra point.
Yeah, they'll kick the extra point, and we'll be moving to the second quarter. But the defense for Arizona stops the running play on 1st down, knocks a deep pass down on 3rd down, and makes another play on 4th and sets up their offense for a 2-score lead.
Extra point is good. It's 21-7 at the end of 1. Arizona with a 2-score lead over the Kansas City Command here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Pristine woodland vistas merge with a 240-acre championship-level course designed by 4-time PGA Tour winner Nota Begay. Whether you're a novice or a pro, you'll appreciate 18 holes of challenges, along with infinite bragging rights. Firekeeper Golf Course. Ignite your senses. Owned by the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation. Located just north of Topeka across from Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Ignite your senses at Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Experience gaming action that sizzles. 3 signature restaurants that'll satisfy any appetite. A luxurious hotel featuring 297 plush rooms. Plus enjoy 18 holes of challenges at the all-new Firekeeper Golf Course. Only at Prairie Band Casino and Resort. It just keeps getting hotter. Must be 21 years of age or older. Owned by the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation. Getting help is your best bet. Call the confidential toll-free problem gambling helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Intuit Small Business presents Payroll in 30 seconds. Just type employee hours into Intuit Online Payroll. Wages and taxes are calculated automatically. A few more clicks to print paychecks or make a direct deposit, and we're done. In our remaining time, here's a flock of pigeons playing ragtime piano with their beaks. Try Intuit Online Payroll free for 30 days at Intuit.com. We do the legwork so you can do what you love. Intuit. Small business rejoice.
So, what do you think my computer problem is, geek?
I think you're gonna need a bigger network.
So how do we get that?
Well, we could attempt to establish a virtual array to maximize and encapsulate the network.
Contact IT Sharks at 913-908-8485.
10 seconds.
On the web at
we are a break behind,
itsharks.com.
by the way.
for all your PC, Mac, and network needs. IT Sharks.
We eat geeks for lunch.
We're okay on load.
Back to start the second quarter. The Arizona Rattlers get the first defensive stop of the game. Always good to keep track of those. And so they now have a 21-7 lead. This kickoff goes into the slack netting, gets hung up, spins up there for a while, still hung up there. And so the Command will take over at the 5-yard line. Nick Davila, 6 of 7 for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns to start this game. Rattlers 0 for 3 on that last drive, so he has dropped to 2 for 6 for 24 yards and a touchdown. Really, the run, Stan, on first down of that last offensive series set them behind the chains. They lost 2 on the opening play, and they were never able to move the chains.
3 more downs, and they're still stuck at the 1-yard line, and it's a big turning point early in the ball game that Kansas City is going to have to overcome.
Here's a short pass complete to Brett Smith. Wide receiver screen. He got it up to about the 8-yard line, but then a flag came in late. Maybe a penalty, unsportsmanlike, against Arizona. That is the case, a personal foul penalty, and Arizona racking up the penalty yardage here in the early going. Kansas City's first drive was aided by a couple of pass interference calls against the Rattlers.
They have as many penalty yards already in this ball game, and we're just starting the second quarter as they average in full games. And that time, Kansas City caught the football right near the sideline and got shoved out of bounds real lightly. Plays over, 1-yard gain. Started working upfield a little bit longer, just jogging, and the next guy came and hit him anyway. And that's why you get a late hit.
1st and 10 at the 17. Rattlers back to pass. Flag flies as he completes it to Hosack. Hosack spun down inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13. It's a hold against the Kansas City Command. So that negates a big play for the Command, as thus far they had done a good job on penalties. The last 2 games they had been double digits in penalties, a lot of them being unsportsmanlike last week against Iowa. So playing with more poise and playing a little smarter thus far in this game, but that's a hurtful penalty that pushed it all the way back to the 9-yard line.
That time they get it on center, Kamani Jones. He's not undisciplined. It's just he's trying to stop this pass rush right now. It's very good for Arizona, but penalties have been a problem for Kansas City. They've averaged 9.8 penalties a game.
All 3 receivers to Rattlers' left. Savoy, the high motion man. Back to pass goes Rattlers, completes the pass short to Hosack. He is immediately dropped by Riley Swanson, who has made several plays, and that's a gain of just a yard, maybe not even that. Good stop once again by the Arizona Rattlers, who have played extremely well defensively so far. They have been one of the top defensive teams in the AFL, and thus far they have lived up to that reputation. It'll be 2nd down and 19 for the Command.
We talked about how great they've been giving up the fewest yardage in the league. They also are a +8 in turnover margin.
Back to pass Rattlers on 2nd and 19. Here's an opening for Brett Smith. Makes the catch, gets it up to the 21-yard line. Still in Command territory, but now 3rd and manageable for the Command. It'll be about 3rd and 7 from the 21.
That's a good gain of 13 yards. You get 2nd and 20, you've got to get some of the yardage back. And it's 3rd down, but in this situation, Kansas City's not made a field goal this year, and you're down by 2 scores. You're probably going to use 2 downs here to get the first down if you need to. So you can call plays knowing you're going to go for 4th down here in this situation.
So here's the 3rd and 7 play from the 21. Hosack will be the high motion man on the right of Rattlers. He is going to look for Hosack, crossing over the middle, hit as he caught the ball, but he managed to hang on for a first down at the 20-yard line into Arizona Rattlers territory. Marquise Floyd gave him a pop as he made the catch, but Hosack hung on for a big first down.
That is a physical catch, coming over the middle, getting hit. And that's exactly what you expect with Aaron Hosack. He works well in the end zone. He works well over the middle, taking contact. A big 3rd down conversion for the Command.
Hosack, the motion man again, as all 3 receivers are to Rattlers' right. He is going to fire for Smith, who fell down as he tried to cut it back to the outside. He came inside and then tried to backtrack out towards the wall and lost his plant foot. Riley Swanson, we've called his name several times, the man in coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Riley Swanson, an athletic player. He's played a couple of years for Arizona, and a number of these Arizona players were on the team last year, and that's one of the reasons why the Rattlers are playing so well this year. There's a continuity about them. Veteran players that played last year in a 10-6 season. They lost in the first round of playoffs, but Kevin Guy's been the coach for 3 years, all the way back to 2008.
Again, here's Rattlers on 2nd and 10. Pass caught by Hosack at the 15-yard line, and he hangs it over the wall. Pushed up against the wall for a 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 15. And even when the Command have made positive plays, Stan, Arizona making him work for every yard, not letting somebody get loose after the catch.
Yeah, really good tackling. We've seen it even at the line of scrimmage. The guys are physical. A lot of times you'll see a pass at the line of scrimmage. The defender comes up so fast that just a little juke will allow the receiver to move upfield and run with the football another 5-10 yards, maybe even more. Not tonight. Arizona's tackling quickly.
Savoy them high motion man. All three receivers to the right of Rattlers as he throws right side, completes it to Hosack, but short of the first down. Only a gain of a couple as, again, sure tackling by Arizona prevents Hosack from being able to turn that ball upfield and try and get to the first down marker. It'll be 4th down for the Command and 3 yards to go at the 13 of Arizona.
He looked like he was in open area, but by the time he caught the football, the defender, Virgil Gray, was right there. Now, something that hurts Kansas City here, they may want to use a timeout to save Brett Smith. Brett Smith went to the sideline, which means Christian Wise, the backup wide receiver, had to come in for his first play of the game. You do not want a backup receiver to have to run his first play of the game on 4th down. So Danton Bartow calls timeout. I'm sure he wants to give Smith a little time to see if he can come back in the ball game. Without a timeout, he's got to leave the ball game and can't come back in. But with the timeout, he can. And when you're a quarterback and you're a head coach, you want everybody, your best receivers, in a reliable situation like this, because you're already down by 2 scores. You cannot run the wrong route here.
Now we'll take a timeout. 9:56 to play second quarter. Command trails Arizona 21-7 on Sports Radio 810.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. Head to the Bronx for a rematch of the American League Championship.
Driven well right field, going back, turning, looking, go!
The Yankees are out for a little revenge, but the Rangers are off to an amazing start and looking to prove last season was no fluke.
Hit in the air, deep left field, at the wall, jumps, and he makes the catch!
Your station for Sunday Night Baseball. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Offense stays on the field. Brett Smith stays off, so Christian Wise will have his first snap in a critical situation, 4th and 3. Here's Hosack to high motion man, wide to the left side. Rattlers back to pass. He's got time. Throws for Hosack at the 3. He turns it upfield and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Huge conversion by the Command. A 13-yard touchdown to Aaron Hosack on a 4th and 3 play.
Great work by Aaron Hosack. Kansas City had all 3 receivers on the left side. One went to the corner, one went to the sideline, but Hosack worked over the middle against Virgil Gray. And like a basketball player, or Tony Gonzalez, when he was the Kansas City Chief, working against a defender, he used his body, moved to one side, and allowed an area to be thrown to. He catches the ball, turns up, and gets a touchdown for Kansas City.
Umstead converts the extra point. Command back within a score, 21-14. We'll take another quick timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Do you ever drive through your neighborhood at night, see that house with the really nice exterior lighting, and think to yourself, man, that looks good, but I'll bet it's expensive? Well, you're half right. Summit Night's architectural landscape lighting can design and install a lighting system for your home that will increase its aesthetic value and provide the security that comes with a well-lit property. Why not make your home the one that passers-by will look at and say, man, that looks nice? Call Summit Nights right now, 816-966-9434.
Don't worry about making up breaks. We're pretty light on the log, so we can let that breakiness go.
What are you up to down there?
Bobcat in the cave.
Gosh, Johnny, playing in the cave sure is neat. Oh boy, a kitty cat. Sassy, the kitty cat's yelling. What, Sassy? It's It's not a kitty, it's a bobcat? Speaking of cats, you like to stress the importance of adopting cats from animal shelters? Over 5 million cats go into animal shelters every year? And with millions of healthy cats to choose from, it's a shame more people don't adopt from shelters? This bobcat's heavy. Help, Sassy! Why bother? We'll just get into more trouble tomorrow? What's that supposed to mean?
Back in 10.
Oh, nuts.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
Another kickoff that is not fielded by the primary return man, Virgil Gray. Instead, Swanson has to pick it up for the second time today. And he got absolutely popped by Trey Bryant as he brought it out to the 8-yard line. Good kick coverage from the Command. 8-play, 45-yard drive for the Command. So now, Stan, each team with a long drive, 5+ minutes for each one. Something unusual for arena football.
Yes, but that shows you the type of defense that's being played.
Here's a quick wide receiver screen pass. Trandon Harvey makes the catch. Picks his way across the 10 to about the 12-yard line, a gain of 4. And you're absolutely right, Stan. Both defenses playing well, not giving up the big play at all. Offenses have had to dink and dunk their way down the field.
And they've taken some shots down the field. Kansas City overthrew one pass deep. Another time, Arizona made a great play, but the tackling has been very sound. If a guy's open, that's one thing, but as soon as guys have caught in the football, they haven't been able to run after the catch. Both teams tackling well so far.
2nd and 6, Davila, left-hander, throws high for Windsor, and the only player that got a hand on that was Carlton Brown. A little too tall to try and make an interception, but dangerous pass there from Davila, and it brings up 3rd and 6 from the 12.
He was so far off target, high and behind the receiver, that Carlton Brown, who was chasing the receiver, he had no chance to make a play on other than to stick up his right hand. Now, Carlton Brown started the first 4 games at cornerback, but tonight he is moving to the free safety position with Jeremy Gray getting the start at cornerback the first time he's played for Kansas City this year.
3rd and 6 for the Command. Back to pass goes Davila. Dances in the pocket, throws, completes to Harvey. He juggled it, and they're going to say he made the catch at the 21-yard line. Good for a first down, a 9-yard pickup.
Big-time play on 3rd down.
Oh, there's a flag down on the field. Back near the original line of scrimmage. That was not good news. I don't know if you folks could hear that in the background, but Michael Landry got penalized, I believe he said, for hitting the official, and has been disqualified from the game. Landry, now on the starting nose tackle, believe has been ejected. He hasn't left the field yet. Well, I don't know. He stayed on the field. I thought that's what I heard from the official there. But it is going to move the football into Kansas City territory at the 19. Windsor makes the catch on a short pass at the line of scrimmage. Makes a couple of guys miss and gets to the 15. It's a gain of 4. Stan, I'm not sure what I heard there. They said it was a penalty on 93, which is Landry. Perhaps they said next similar foul would result in an ejection. I'm not sure.
Well, the official is over talking to Danson Bartow right now, and I think he's saying he's got to come out. They just didn't enforce. They didn't realize he had meandered back to the huddle.
Yeah, so I guess not. He got an extra free play, and that's what I thought I heard. So now Landry has been kicked out of the football game. Stan, that's a huge loss, no doubt about it.
You only have 4 defensive linemen. Bobby Payne and Rico Reese not available tonight. Brian Robinson started every game. Michael Landry, the veteran, was playing nose guard. Brandon Jenkins already playing his first game at defensive end, and now Trey Bryant has got to come in and play down after down.
2nd and about 7 at the 16. Throw to Harvey underneath, and he gets inside the 10. Good for a first down to the 7-yard line. Pickup of 9. It'll be 1st and goal for Arizona. 6:25 to play here in the first half. The Rattlers leading 21-14.
Think about this last week, and for much of the year, Bobby Payne was a starting nose guard. And it's a specialized position in this league with what you've got to do and the restrictions you have. So Michael Landry comes in this week because Bobby Payne's on IR. And he can't play now, so Brandon Jenkins is in at nose guard. He's just getting his first starting action at defensive end.
And here's a throw for the end zone for Harvey, and we're going to get a pass interference called against Carlton Brown.
He was trailing on the receiver, and they're going to call him on the penalty. It's a good decision by the quarterback to throw the ball out in front of receiver crossing from left to right with the defender behind, but the penalty will be against Carlton Brown. They'll move the ball down to just near the 3-yard line. It'll be first down for Arizona. And again, a methodical drive with third down conversions, penalties, and Arizona's not been stopped tonight. They're 3 for 3 touchdowns in 3 possessions, but they've done it moving the ball slowly, and here they are knocking on the doorstep of a touchdown again.
So first and goal at the 3. Harvey, the high motion man. Davila throws end zone for Reed, who found a little empty space, makes the catch for the score. And it's the Rattlers going back up by 2 scores, 27-14 with the point after pending. 5:15 now to play in the second quarter.
Kerry Reed has his first career touchdown reception. The rookie from Michigan State went just across the goal line and turned real quick. And before the defense could even react, he had the football in his hands. A well-run play. The quarterback did a great job, Davila, of getting the football quickly, and Arizona has another touchdown.
Extra point is up and good. We'll take a timeout. Rattlers go up 28-14 here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
April showers bring, well, hail and lots of it. In fact, virtually every new Subaru from Olathe Subaru has sustained slight hail damage, and that means you save thousands. Buy any new 2011 Olathe Subaru with slight hail damage for $1,000 under invoice. Slight hail equals thousands in savings. New Olathe Subarus are priced at thousands off. Plus, at Olathe Subaru, you get more, like a free lifetime warranty at no additional charge. Plus, 2 years free maintenance backed by Subaru. Plus, interest rates as low as 1.9%. Plus, we'll give you more for your trade. No other dealer even comes close. We are Kansas City's #1 Subaru dealer. Stop by Olathe Subaru and see for yourself. Slightly damaged Subarus are hail sale priced at $1,000 under dealer invoice. Plus a lifetime warranty and 2 years maintenance at no charge. If you want the best new car value on the market, get to Olathe Subaru for our hail sale. Located just off I-35 in Santa Fe. Olathe Subaru, where nobody else gives you more for less. See dealer for details.
Chances are most of us will never earn a major league salary for even a day. But you can from Miller Lite and Sports Radio 810. You could win a one-day honorary minimum salary, 4 Royals tickets, authentic custom jersey and hat, on-field access, and press conference with giant check. For your chance to win, text Miller Lite to 90464. Go to the Miller Lite display at your local Hy-Vee or visit a local Johnny's Tavern location. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste greatness.
Here's the kickoff from Scaccia, who has been perfect on extra points thus far. He knocks that one into the slack netting. Christian Wise picks it up, gets to the outside, and the last man who could get him finally got him down at about the 8-yard line. Harrington making the special teams tackle, the starting defensive end. Looked a little bit dubious to start for Kansas City, then Wise almost broke it.
Well, it hit up into the net, and it looked like some fans might have touched it on the way down. But Christian Wise was so clean in getting it on the bounce that he took off running. The officials did not say that the ball was dead because fans touched it. They let him go ahead, and he took it around the right side, did a nice job of taking it out to the 7-yard line.
First and 10 at the 7.
7 doesn't sound like it's very far out, but oftentimes you start at the 2.5-yard line in this league.
Here's Brett Smith, who's back in there. And he is the high motion man. Ratterink flush to his left, throws a wobbly pass out into the stands, incomplete.
No, he caught it. The fan caught it cleanly.
Well, the fan caught it cleanly.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
Christian Wise, the intended receiver, did not make the catch.
Officially it's incomplete. I'm not arguing with you there, but you may not have been able to see this guy made a nice catch down here. And
actually,
he was.
I might have misspoke. That might have been Wise the whole time, not Smith. So Smith's still out.
That's 8 rows up. That ball kind of took off as he rolled again to the left. He's been flush from the pocket a lot tonight.
Here's Savoy, the motion man. They're going to throw to him as he settles down underneath that zone. And the pass is caught, and Savoy had so much space. he was able to run another 4 yards after the catch to get a first down up to the 19-yard line, a gain of 12.
Christian Wise is a good return player. He's fast. But the refinement on his pass routes is not going to be the same as Brett Smith, not the coordination with J.J. Ratterink. You look at Brett Smith, he's got 40 receptions, tied for second in the whole league. So with Brett Smith being out right now, it appears that he's dinged up and walking around back near the locker room, not on the field. That hurts Kansas City's passing game just slightly.
Here's Hosack, the high motion man, around to the left side, the short side of the field. Ratterink throws, looking for Wise. That's going to draw all kinds of flags. Riley Swanson, who has made several great plays, has also gotten a couple of flags for pass interference. That will be his second defensive pass interference call. That one an easy call for the officials. He's, of course, questioning the call. He can't believe he got whistled for that, but that is an easy call for the officials and moves the ball to the 21 into Arizona territory.
And Hosack walks off the field. He got crunched. In the first 5 yards, you can hit a receiver, and the big, strong Jack linebacker, Kevin McCullough, smashed him head on, and Hosack went down. He laid on the ground for about 5 seconds before he got up and walked off the field. So that means Bradley Chavez, the starting Jack linebacker, is in the game.
Here's Ratterink on 1st and 10. He got crunched, but delivers the football to Savoy, who makes the catch. Goes up and over the wall in the end zone, but hangs on to the football for the touchdown. What a throw by J.J. Ratterink. A 21-yard scoring strike to Steven Savoy.
With only one starting receiver on the field, he threw the ball to him, and he threw it early. J.J. Ratterink, under pressure, lofted the ball up to the right corner on a flag route way before Steven Savoy made his cut, but it ended up being perfect timing. As the ball dropped out of the air, Savoy caught it in the right corner, banged off the sideline, and was able to hold on to the football for a touchdown.
No missed extra points thus far in this game. Both kickers perfect. It's 28-21. Command draw within 7. We'll take a timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The University of Kansas Hospital is an academic medical center. The doctors are different here. They excel in caring for patients while also advancing the power of medicine as researchers and professors. Dr. Doug Burton is a spine surgeon. He's exploring the link between tobacco and the way bone grows.
Nicotine slows how bones heal. So before we do any surgery, we help our smokers get smoke-free. Thinking that way contributes to our patient satisfaction scores, which are among the highest in the nation.
In fact, the University of Kansas Hospital cares for the most complex cases of any hospital in our area. And all the while, they treat patients with such respect that patient satisfaction scores are in the nation's top 10%. Learn more at kumed.com/advancing. The University of Kansas Hospital, advancing the power of medicine.
Command draw within 28-21, a 2-minute and 19-second drive, 3 plays, 43 yards. Here's the kickoff. Virgil Gray jumps at the back wall to make the catch, returns it out across the 10 and out to the 15-yard line, where Arizona will take over 1st and 10. And one good thing about that quick drive, Stan, is with about 1:43 to go, Kansas City now a good chance to get the football back last here in this first half. Still a long way to go, and sometimes we can see 4 or 5 possessions in the last minute of a half. But right now, that's about the time you want to give it back to the other team with about 2 minutes to go. See if you can't get within 1 score at the end of the first half.
If you look at this objectively, you would say that Arizona's 2 scores ahead of Kansas City. But if Kansas City could score last, if they continue to score, you'd be 1 score down, and you get the ball to start the second half, which means you could tie it up. It's a critical sequence of time here, the last 1 minute and 30 seconds of this half and the start of the next half. If Kansas City can play well, they could be right back tied in this game.
Harvey, the high motion man. Davila under pressure from right up the middle. Tyus Jackson gets his 2nd sack of the season, dropping Davila back at the 7-yard line.
He made a big play to set the tone in a separation period in the game last week against Iowa into Command's first win. And tonight, he puts pressure on the quarterback, gets a sack, dominates up the middle. He has that running start. He's the most physical and emotional player that Kansas City has, and he sets the tone here as we go down to the 1-minute warning by getting a sack on first down.
It's a 7-yard loss back to the 8. It will be 2nd and 17 when we come back. We're at the 1-minute warning. Arizona leads 28-21. You're listening to Command Football on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
Mike Rowe went to a real Ford dealership service department to talk to a real Ford service advisor about a big event.
Fiona, if I didn't know better, I'd say you're having some sort of, sales event?
Yes, fair. Big tire and brake sales event.
That means that you've got lots of different tires?
Yes, we do.
How do I know as a consumer that Ford has the kind of tire that I need for my particular vehicle?
Well, we carry 11 major brands, so chances are what you're looking for, we have it.
What are the important aspects of this sale?
Right now we have special rebates, offers, and discounts going on.
You're selling brakes as well?
Yes, we are.
Why should somebody bring their car here to get the brakes done?
When you bring your vehicle to a Ford dealership, you know that your vehicle is being worked on by technicians who work on Fords all day long.
And when you stop by now, you can buy 4 select tires and get a $100 rebate.
Back in 20.
And get a $40 rebate on Motorcraft Complete Brake Service. It's money right back in your pocket.
So you have a lot of tires, and it's a big event.
It's a huge event.
And it involves brakes, too.
Yes, it does.
Which is why it's called the Big Tire and Brake Sales Event.
You're good.
Yeah, thank you.
Front or rear
Will do.
axle. See participating dealership or visit FordOwner.com for vehicle exclusions and rebate details through 5/31/11.
A little shorter break there than was scheduled, so a couple of plays. The second one just wrapping up as Rod Windsor converts a 3rd and 5 play by making the catch up to the 16-yard line of Kansas City. And now the command will call, looked like maybe Arizona called that timeout.
Arizona got sacked in the first play. Good play by Tyus Jackson. So when we went to break, it was 2nd and long. They took care of that real quick on the next pass, completed the ball over the middle, and then completed the ball for the second completion in a row, and now they're down to the 16-yard line. The clock ran when they had the first completion, so they've run off a lot of clock, and this is a veteran move by Kevin Guy. He is an AF2 Hall of Fame coach. He'd been a defensive coordinator with San Jose when they were really good in 2006 and 7, and now in his 3rd year of coaching Arizona. One of the good ways to keep the clock on your side and to be the last team to score is not be in such a big hurry when you get the football. He let the clock run. They used their first timeout with only 21 seconds left. They know they've got plenty of time to get these last 16 yards.
Each team with 2 timeouts. The command spent one a minute ago, but it's Arizona burning this one. They've got 1st and 10 at the command 16-yard line. Here's a pass outside, completed to Glenn Fox, who gets his first catch of his Arizona Rattlers career, and it's good for a 7-yard gain. Call it an 8-yard gain up to the 8-yard line. With 18 seconds to play, Fox put the football over the wall to stop the clock. 2nd and 2 now from the 8 with 18 seconds remaining.
Crazy strategy you could have in this league with about 30 seconds or so is to let the other team score so you'll get a chance to score, but it's not a good strategy now with only 18 seconds left. Not enough time to have confidence that your offense can score that quick.
Here's Davila back to pass. Flag flies. Pass picked off by Chavez. Chavez with the quarterback to beat. Stays on his feet to the 10. 5. Touchdown. Who is the penalty on? The way the officials are signaling to come back the other way, this may be against Kansas City.
Chavez was the Iron Man of the week last week.
Offsides against the command. That's the second one. And this one still gives Arizona a first down because it was 2nd and short. It'll be 1st and goal now at the 4-yard line. And what a critical mistake right there, because that, Stan, I don't think had any factor on the play. It just negated a great interception by Chavez that he returned for a score that would have tied the game.
It's as good a defensive play as you'll ever see. A jack linebacker undercutting, a receiver running a slant, catches the football, gets around the corner where the linemen are, runs upfield, jukes past the quarterback, and outruns everyone for a return of about 45 yards. But it's all taken off because, you're right, of an offsides penalty that really didn't force the quarterback to throw the ball any earlier than he would have anyway.
Silver lining, there's only 7 seconds left. Davila throwing for the end zone, incomplete. Nice play looking for Trandon Harvey, but Carlton Brown got in the way of Harvey. Harvey wanted a pass interference call. No flags coming. 4 seconds left, so maybe if the command can force one more incompletion here, we'll run out of first half and go to the locker room down just one score, which was really the goal all along.
You make a great point because all the time it took on that return, the clock continued to run. So that's the good thing. But Kevin Guy's not going to play it conservatively and send the kicking team out now. He thinks he can run a play with 4 seconds left and still get a field goal shot.
Here's Harvey in motion. Davila back to pass. Davila flushed out of the pocket. He's going to go down as the first half clock expires.
Cannot make that mistake if you're the quarterback. Kevin Guy cannot believe it. The play started with 4 seconds left, but Davila did not throw the ball immediately. He is mad at the official, saying there should have been a penalty in the end zone. His quarterback couldn't hold the football. It all works out well for the command because Brian Robertson gets his second sack of the year, and the clock runs out on the play.
How about that ending to the first half? Kevin Guy animatedly saying there should have been defensive holding in the end zone. Did not get that flag thrown, and the command gets a stop at the end of the first half by running the clock out on Arizona. And it's 28-21, and really, Stan, despite the fact the command got stopped there on downs early in the game, and the advantage was to Arizona the entire first half, they had the ball one more possession than Kansas City, and they're only up one score. So really, the command held serve in this first half at the end of the half.
As crazy as all this was, where Arizona really had control of the game and always had a lead, and most of the time had a 2-score lead, you're exactly right. We use tennis as a great example. It's like the players are going to go sit down between serves, and it's 4-3, and you're on serve. We're at the half. Arizona got the football first. They lead by a touchdown. All Kansas City has to do is receive the ball first in the second half, go down and score, and guess what? We got a tie game. A little work to be done to start the second half, but basically what you have right now is the equivalent of a tie game when it appeared like Arizona, an undefeated team at 4-0, ranked number 1 in the whole AFL by the coaches' poll, looked like they had total control of the game. With that sack and time running out and that stop, Kansas City is right back in the game.
And not to be Debbie Downer, but Kansas City had a chance to really grab the game last week by the throat with an opening possession of the second half. Did not capitalize. Obviously going to be important for the way the second half goes to come out and get this game tied coming out of the locker room.
Yeah. The receiving core issue going to be? I did not see on the bench Aaron Hosack. I think he might have a concussion or something that might keep him out. Let's hope not. We'll see. But I thought Brett Smith was moving around a little bit more, trying to get back on the field. The command right now, as it stands going into halftime, do not have 2 of their starting wide receivers. Not a good situation going into the half. But I tell you what, I think they're happy to go in, reload, and say we got a chance to upset Arizona if we can play well in the second half.
We could see Smith trying to job back and forth in the little bit of area. There's probably about 15 feet or so that you can see from behind the bench to the locker room doors. Smith was sprinting back and forth in that one little walkway right there, but kind of wincing as he did so. So we'll see if he is able to play to start the second half. And I think you may be right, Hosack's certainly going to be questionable to start the second half. So not a lot of depth right now for the command, and you have to remember there's really only 3 backups for the whole team. So there are a couple of guys down. We could see some guys, including Chavez, going both ways here in the second half. These injuries keep piling up for the Kansas City command. But that's the downer note of it. The good side is that the command are down just 1 score, and they'll get the football first to start the second half. When we come back, we'll visit with Sergio Gillum, the reigning Defensive Player of the Week in the entire Arena Football League, coming off a 3-interception performance against Iowa. Keyed that great defensive performance for the command and getting their first win here at Sprint Center last week. And we'll talk to Sergio as we continue our coverage of Kansas City Command football on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
If you're thinking of investing your hard-earned money in the stock market, I have one word of advice for you. Stop! An eye-opening free report by the author of the best-selling book, Bank on Yourself, reveals the truth about how Wall Street has brainwashed Americans into believing you must risk your money in order to grow it. Wall Street lost over 45% of your money twice in the last decade, and they're about to do it again. Hundreds of thousands of Americans use Bank on Yourself. Not one of them lost a single penny in their plans when the market crashed. In fact, their plans will all continue to grow safely and predictably every single year, even when the market crashes again. Learn the secrets to growing your wealth without risking it in the Wall Street casino. All the details are revealed in a free report. For a limited time, you can get this report free at bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. bankonyourself.com.
Angel Flight Central serves people in need by arranging charitable flights for access to health care and for other humanitarian purposes. Pilots who donate their planes, skills, and hearts to provide free flights for people in need. To find out more about Angel Flight Central, log on to angelflightcentral.org.
Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City.
Harvick stays glued to McMurray. Hamlin stays glued to
30.
Montoya. Give the advantage to McMurray.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network. Coverage continues Sunday with the Aaron's $4.99 from Talladega Super Speedway. Hear it live at 11 a.m. on MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR. And for ticket information, go to MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Sports Radio 810 WHB, brought to you by Kansas Speedway.
Welcome back to halftime. Kansas City Command football. Command taking on the Arizona Rattlers. Time now for our halftime conversation with our Command feature player of the week. And this week it's the defensive player of the week in the Arena Football League, Sergio Gillum. And Sergio, obviously a big game against Iowa last week, the 3 interceptions. Talk about the gratification of getting your defense and yourself individually recognized with AFL Player of the Week defensively.
Defensively, it was great to get recognized as Defensive Player of the Week, but I owe that credit to our coaches and my defensive teammates and the offense that prepared us for us to get ready for the Iowa game. And, arena football, it's any given day. So we back here again at home versus Arizona and everything, and hopefully we can come out on top, and I'll be willing to help our defense out again with more turnovers.
Now, you've got 4 interceptions. You're tied for the league lead in that category on the season. And you've been a guy who's been a ball hawk your entire career. 16 interceptions, an AF2 record for Spokane a few years ago. What is there a knack to getting interceptions? What is it that you're able to do to try and get turnovers for your defense?
It starts with practice, and then we're able to have a great game plan. And then I'm one of them guys that's willing to, try to help out and get turnovers and be a ball hawk as much as I can to help the offense to get the ball back. Because at the beginning and the end of the day, it's an offensive game, and the team with the ball last pretty much comes away with the win. So I'll just try to get the ball back to our offense as much as I can.
You're a guy that started the season technically as a substitute, but one of those guys that was on the field most of the plays. What have you done to take advantage of your opportunity now to step into a full-time starting role?
Just come out, contribute as much as I can and help the team out. Everybody on the team know what they're capable of, and we just want to go out there and do our part and what we're supposed to, and just depend on our brother to be there. And that's something we're looking forward to again this week and throughout the season, week in and week out.
You spent several years in AF2. Any differences between the big level of arena football here at the top division?
You just have some veteran players and some rookie players, and then I still feel like the game is still the same. You just got different players, and we all coming together, whether it's from the AF2 to AF1, or if it's a veteran that's always played Arena 1 and everything. But it's still the same game. It's just who wanted more, and you got to just go out there and finish off and come away with a win.
Obviously, we're talking at halftime. We're talking now before the game, and this is airing at halftime. But you played with Arizona last year, spent the first few games of the season with the Rattlers. Any insight into those guys over there, and what's it going to be like playing with some guys that you're obviously familiar with?
Don't have any insight. It's a new year and everything, so coaches like to change things up and everything. But we know we got a great game plan, and some of them guys I look forward to playing against and wish them good luck. But they know my team and myself, we're going to give it our all, and hopefully they do the same. And I just look forward to playing against them, and we come away with a win here in Kansas City.
You told us on the Kansas City Command Coaches Show on Thursday night at 810 Zone on the Plaza that you're adjusting to the weather here in Kansas City. This is your first ever time in the city, and you're not used to all kinds of different weather. You're from South Carolina, where it's pretty much all the time warm and a little muggy.
Yes, sir. Kansas City, the weather is starting to get better. I see sun sometimes, then again I see rain. Some days I'm used to, but that's one thing about arena ball. I like that. We never have to worry about canceling the game because it's indoors, so the weather can continue to come as long as I'm inside.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time, Sergio. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. No problem.
That's Sergio Gillum, back with halftime statistics after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hi, it's Jim at Smoke and Fire, and it's officially spring, and the longer grilling and smoking days are back. You already know Smoke and Fire has the best selection of charcoal, gas, and pellet grills for smokers. Top quality at great prices. This week's grill special is a 4-burner beef eater, Discovery Grill with cabinet and side burner, regularly $12.55 for the guaranteed lowest price of $971. And Smoke and Fire has grills starting from $39.99. They'll fit any budget. Got an older grill that needs repair? Bring us the brand and the model number and get a 10% discount on any parts order or in-stock part. Right now, Smoke and Fire has open classes for everyone. Call the shop for details at 913-685-1111. That's 913-685-1111. Or go to smokeandfire.com. Think family, think friends, think Smoke and Fire.
Command fans, want to invite you to join us each Thursday prior to select home games at 810 Zone on the Plaza for the Kansas City Command Show, featuring head coach Danton Bardo and hosted by Steven St. John and myself. Starting at 7 p.m., you can meet Coach Bardo, Command players, and Command dancers, and enjoy a delicious menu of your football favorites at 810 Zone on the Plaza. If you missed the party, make sure to listen in right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB from 7 to 8. See you in a week. Not this coming week because we're on the road at Chicago, but the following Thursday at 810 Zone on the Plaza as we get you ready for the Dallas Vigilantes, who come in here for a 7:30 Friday night kick. That was originally on the schedule. If you put it on your Google Calendar or whatever prior to the season, you went to Kansas City Command, the kccommand.com, and put it on your schedule. It was originally listed on there as a Saturday night game, but Jimmy Buffett's going to have the Sprint Center on Saturday night, so the Dallas Vigilantes and Kansas City Command will play Friday night, April 29th at 7:30, and understand the first 2,500 fans here on that night, if you come and join the game here in person, will receive a Command rally towel. So get your tickets and join in on the fun of Kansas City Command football here in person. Stan, as we take a look at the first half stats from this one, the Command have trailed 28-21. J.J. Raderink in the first half, 11 of 17, 99 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hosack, the leading receiver catch-wise, 5 for 29 and a touchdown. Savoy, yardage-wise, 3 for 43 and 2 scores. Brett Smith with 3 for 27. The clincher is that 2 of those guys, Hosack and Smith, may not be available in the second half. Nick Davila was pretty pinpoint accurate till the very tail end of that half, 14 of 18, 138 yards and 3 touchdowns. Arizona was a 1-yarder after the Command failed to convert on 4th and 12 from their own 1.
Well, one thing that sticks out in these stats for me is the fact that Kansas City has had 2 sacks here in the first half, and the critical one right before the half was the first stop of the game against Arizona. Kansas City came into the game with only 3 sacks all year long in 4 games, worst in the league, and they get 2 in the first half against an Arizona team that had only given up 4 sacks all year. So that's critical. We went into the year talking to Danton Bardo, who is the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator and the head coach, and he said, if you want to look at the strength of the team, it's going to be our pass rush. Well, he hasn't had a lot of pass rush, but tonight he gets 2 sacks. That's what he counted on going into the year.
Back with the second half kickoff after this on Sports Radio 810. Command trail at 28-21 to the Rattlers, but get the football first to start the second half.
At the University of Kansas Hospital, doctors deliver world-class patient care every day. At the same time, they excel as clinical researchers and professors, too. It's simply in their DNA to advance the power of medicine. Dr. Terry Sue is a head and neck cancer specialist. His team discovered how to harvest more bone to reconstruct facial structures from the patient's own forearms without weakening the arms, redefining what was thought possible.
Breakthroughs are part of our responsibility. Research, which leads to clinical advancements, is an important reason why more people who come here live.
In fact, every year more patients with serious health conditions who choose the University of Kansas Hospital live. Because here, there's more experience in more complex cases than at any hospital in our area. Learn more at kumed.com/advancing. The University of Kansas Hospital, advancing the power of medicine.
Ready to start the second half on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Nick McCabe alongside Stan Weber. Glad you could join us here on Sports Radio 810 for the Kansas City Command and the Arizona Rattlers at halftime as we're ready for the second half kickoff. It's 28-21, Arizona with the lead. They got one more possession. They scored on their first 4 drives of the football game, and Kansas City was finally able to get a stop on the 5th, although didn't hold them for 4 full downs. Had to have the first half clock run out to get that first stop, so they'll need to maybe improve even a little bit on their first half defensive performance. This kickoff goes hard off the low crossbar, but Christian Wise fields it, and he's at midfield to the 15-10. 5, touchdown! Christian Wise, his first career kick return for a touchdown in the Arena Football League. He's threatened to do it all year long, and he finally takes one to the house. And it was a tough fielding job by Wise, and that started it off. And great blocking up the middle as Wise takes it the distance.
He caught the ball cleanly, even though it was a tough catch off the net, and then right up the middle he exploded before the Arizona defense could get set, and all he had to do was beat the kicker, and the kicker ran into the official, and Wise had enough speed to take it down the left sideline and return it for an opening second half touchdown return.
Umstead right down the middle, and it ties the game at 28, just seconds into the half. We'll take a timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, tied at 28.
This is Heidi from Olathe Kia. A recent hailstorm damaged almost every Kia on our lot. I guess you could say April showers bring hail power. The insurance adjusters have finished, and slight hail damage means huge savings. Every new Olathe Kia is hail priced. Plus, you keep the rebates. A few dings could save you literally thousands. Stop by and check out massive savings on all the new Kias, like the 2011 Kia Forte, hail priced at just $99 a month. Or you can visit us online at olathekia.com. Buy today with 0 down, and you don't make a payment till July. Finance restrictions have been relaxed. Special arrangements have been made to offer the lowest rate financing to everyone. Our goal is 100% approval. Plus, buy any new Olathe Kia and get free oil changes for as long as you own the vehicle and the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. If you've been waiting for the right time to buy, now is the time. Slight hail damage can save you thousands. Olathe Kia, just off I-35 in Santa Fe. We'll see you there.
Offers to finance on approved credit. See dealer for details.
Take the Gum Out Regain Challenge for your chance to win weekly prizes. How can Gum Out Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner help improve your engine's performance? Submit your answers at 810WHB.com for your chance to win a $50 gift certificate from Gum Out and a Sports Radio 810 t-shirt. So take the Gum Out Regain Challenge today. Just go to 810WHB.com, submit your answers, and you can win great prizes from Gum Out and Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Umstead kicks it off. Virgil Gray back to receive it, but that goes over the crossbar but underneath the slack net and into the stands where a fan will keep a souvenir. No chance for return for Virgil Gray as Umstead, frankly, a little shaky start to his kicking career for Kansas City. His first ever kickoff went into the stands on the sideline, which is a no-no for kickers because that comes way out to the 20-yard line, I believe. And since then, though, I mean, these kickoffs today have been outstanding. He has really neutralized a kick return game, and he's perfect 4-4 on extra points. Back to pass goes Davila to start the drive from the 5-yard line. Windsor skips a tackle, still up the right sideline, still on his feet, and finally pushed out up against the University of Kansas Hospital banner over there on the sideline on University of Kansas Hospital Field. Brian Robinson finally pushed him out, but a big gain all the way from the 5 out to the 22 in Kansas City territory. That's a 23-yard gain.
We started the game highlighting this player, Rod Windsor, dominant last year, and back now after being a part of the National Football League, and he shows it right there with another big play, breaking a couple of tackles.
Windsor in high motion. He'll come slot to the left side. Davila throws for him, and he juggled the pass and then caught it again. Boy, they should give Windsor 2 catches on that play as he caught it at the 5, juggled it, and then takes it into the end zone wide open underneath. Second time, Stan, that a similar-looking play. He has crossed over from the left side to the right and has been wide open in the middle of the field.
And this time the ball got to him very quickly. Davila saw it, threw in at the ball much earlier than he has earlier. Right as he got his cut from left to right, still 15 yards from the goal line, he caught the football, and he had plenty of time to bobble it as much as he wanted to because there were no defenders in the area. They were all deep or short, not in that middle area. It was too easy for Rod Windsor. 2 receptions for 45 yards, and Arizona is back in front by a touchdown.
Now the offense is going to be called for delay of game. So that'll back him up 5 yards further for this extra point try. Scotchy in his first action for the Arizona Rattlers, replacing Joe Schroeder, who had kicked the first 4 games, has also been superb, but just gave up a kick return for a touchdown. That is a no-no for kickers in this league. Extra point is up, and it is good. So we're a perfect 9 for 9 combined on extra points. We'll take a timeout. 35-28, Arizona back on top of the command with 12:28 to play in the third quarter on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get your football fix. Arena football is back. Feel the rush when the Kansas City Command take the field at Sprint Center for the 2011 season. From high-flying catches to non-stop hard-hitting plays, your family won't want to miss a minute of fast-paced action. Season tickets for the 9-game home schedule start at just $100 and are on sale now by calling 816-949-7177 or SprintCenter.com. Get your football fix now.
Well, the economy is at it again. It's up, it's down, it's sideways. Frankly, it's confusing. At Advance Auto Parts, we're going to make things simple for you. Right now at Advance, we're offering you 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil plus a Fram Extra Guard oil filter for only $17.99. See store for details. We got the high-quality supply, you get the money-saving demand. That's economics everyone can appreciate. Advance Auto Parts. Service is our best part.
We got everything, right? Face paint?
30.
Check. Jersey? Got it. Grill and burgers? Yep. Cooler? Come on. Designated driver? What? Whoops.
Before you head out to watch your favorite NFL team, make sure you passed your car keys to the designated driver. Make the right call when it comes to getting home safely. Sign up at the designated driver booth at the stadium and remember, always buckle up. You could be following your team to the Super Bowl. This message is provided as a public service by the Station and Team Coalition.
Wise goes up against the back wall of the end zone to make the catch and return it out to the 9-yard line. About 45 yards shorter than his last kick return, but another pretty solid return for Christian Wise.
The good news on those 2 returns, first of all, for Kansas City is the fact that Brett Smith, a wide receiver that's been out since early in the second quarter, was out on the field both times, so he should be able to play wide receiver again. And Aaron Hosack had his helmet buckled. He didn't have to go out on the first kickoff because Christian Wise took it back 54 yards for a touchdown, but he kept his helmet on. And good news for Kansas City, all 3 of their starters are on the field at wide receiver.
Smith is the motion man as all 3 receivers are to Ratterink's right. Time for JJ. He throws down the right side of the field into coverage, and it's incomplete. Pass was really broken up by Savoy as Riley Swanson had the best play on the ball, had inside position. Ratterink really needed to throw it to the outside shoulder there, Stan.
Ratterink just about made the same mistake he made on the first pass that he threw in the game last week against Iowa. I don't know what he thought. He has a guy guarded along the right sideline, throws a bomb, and throws it up where the defender has the best chance to catch the football. He should have caught it. Riley Swanson should have caught it, but a great defensive play by the receiver. Steven Savoy knocks it down.
Hosack, the motion man. Ratterink going to throw right side for Smith, who he wanted to stop down. But Smith was on a go route, and Hosack, I think, was wide open, crossed into the middle of the field, but Rattlers never looked his way, and it will be 3rd and 10.
Last week when they threw the ball up, it was intercepted. And now you get out of sync. When you throw that ball and you're incomplete, it's just better for a quarterback to get some rhythm, get some completions, and Coach Danton Bartow is very aware of that. But now you can't worry about throwing the ball down the line of scrimmage and get the quarterback back into a rhythm, and he was in a good rhythm to start the half because it's 3rd and 10.
It's Hosack in motion. Rattlers back to pass. He's got time. Lobs it over the middle of the field, but it's incomplete once again. And again, looked like maybe wires were crossed with Brett Smith, and it's 4th and 10, 3 straight incompletions. And the Command will have to go for it from their own 9-yard line.
I thought J.J. Rattlers really was throwing the ball well. No ball slipping out of his hands. Accurate throws pretty much in the first half. Other than that one he had to throw away off balance, 8 yards, and he overthrew a guy who was down the field. Again, tough throws, but this 3 passes in a row, not even close to being completed. So you got 4th and 10 and a quarterback that's not in a rhythm at all. In fact, he's going to call timeout. They are out of sync right now when you look at the Command's offense.
Well, he didn't get I was watching the play clock. He did not get to leave Danton Bartow's side until 10 seconds were left on the play clock, then had to go relay the play in the huddle. They didn't break the huddle till about 5 seconds remained on the play clock. No chance to get that play off. And I normally think you should just take the penalty and keep your timeouts. They're so critical at the end of the game. But on 4th and 10, you don't really want to make that 4th and 15. You kind of had to call the timeout right there.
Yeah, the yardage matters so much on this play. You're right. Normally the yardage doesn't matter if it's 1st or 2nd down. But a critical situation, and if you were with us earlier, you remember that Kansas City early in the ballgame had a 4th and long from their own 1. They went for it, did not get a first down. In fact, in an incomplete pass, Arizona took over and won at a 1-yard drive, and that's what created a separation that Kansas City has fought so hard to get rid of, to catch back up and be on serve. And now here they are again, ball inside their own 10-yard line at the 9. And if they don't get a first down, they're going to have done the same thing here in the second half that they did in the first.
Command was 0 for 1 on 4th down last week. So far here tonight, they are 1 of 2 on 4th down opportunities. Had the turnover on downs at their own 1 on 4th and 12. And just like the first 3 plays of this series, just did not ever make a completion. They had a negative 2-yard run to start that series, and then 3 straight incompletions. Now here, they have to hope the offense can get back in a rhythm here in one play. It'll be Savoy, the motion man. Rattlers back to pass, throws down the sideline, looking for Savoy, who picks it up off the turf. Did he make the catch? Yes! Made the catch at the 11-yard line. Savoy, what a catch. I don't know about that one, Stan. It was close.
That was not a good throw. It was underthrown over to the outside, but it's 4th down. You got to get the ball up. And Savoy coming in like a center fielder for the Royals and diving. And you wonder, did the ball bounce off the ground or did he catch it in his hands? Because he was fully extended, sliding on the turf, coming back to the football. And they say he caught it at the 11 and it converted on 4th down.
Let's call that one a break for the Kansas City Command as Victor Mann takes the handoff on 1st and 10 from the 11. Picked up a yard on that last replay, Stan. Sure did look like the ball got a piece of the turf. The Arizona bench didn't really go nuts over there, but that one might have been a break for the Command, and that's a huge play. 30 yards on that completion, and more importantly, moved the chains on a 4th and 10 play.
That's right. If it was 10 yards and 1 inch, it would have been giant. That it was much longer, that's just a bonus. But did he get his hands underneath the football? Kansas City gets the benefit of the call.
Now here's Savoy again, the motion man on 2nd and 9. Pass complete to Smith. And Marquise Floyd popped him out of bounds, but Floyd almost had a play on the ball. It's going to be a 2-yard completion. Floyd would have been 40 yards the other way if he had been just a step quicker on his break.
Arizona does a great job of getting to the football, rallying when the ball's in the air. When the receiver catches it, they're there to hit the receiver, and if you are slow on the throw, it could easily be picked off.
3rd and 7 now from the 8-yard line of the Arizona Rattlers. Command with the football, Smith in motion. Rattlers takes the snap, has time, throws back in the end zone, caught by Smith. Then he's taken to the ground, but he holds on for the touchdown. The Kansas City Command once again can tie this football game up.
The best connection for Kansas City all year long has been J.J. Ratterink to Brett Smith. And there it took every bit of that confidence that these two guys have in each other to make the play, because Ratterink is under all kinds of pressure. He's been taking hits, and that time, standing in a pocket, he got crunched when he threw the ball in the middle of the field. And Brett Smith, who had run to the outside, pivoted, came back to the inside, had to reach up as the ball was away from his body. He caught it, and Kansas City has a chance to tie.
Umstead remains perfect. He does square it at 35 apiece with 7:19 to play here in the third quarter on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Jimmy, snap out of it. Snap out of it.
Wait. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
What just happened?
Oh, it was out of this
problem.
world. Yeah, I was taken aboard the amazing withholding calculator.
Okay, it's a bit over the top, but here's the point. There's one reliable place you can go for help this tax season, and it's not outer space, but cyberspace. IRS.gov.
I want to go. I want to go.
To IRS.gov?
Where else?
There really is a withholding calculator there, and other tools, like one for tracking your refund. You can also learn how to e-file or free-file your taxes, and even choose an installment option if you can't pay your taxes in one lump sum. That's www.irs.gov.
Oh, I want to see it all, Jimmy.
Me too. Let's go!
Back inside Sprint Center, Nick McCabe beside Stan Weber. We have a tie football game, 35 apiece. Here's Umstead's kickoff. And now it's going to be Harvey back to return the kick. Takes it out of the slack netting, gets it to the 5, cuts it back to the middle of the field. He is in the clear to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And Arizona, a kickoff return of their own.
Brandon Harvey, leading receiver on the ball club, a physical, fast, quality football player. Took the ball down the middle and, like a question mark, started over the right side, curved back, and then when he got into the middle of the field about at his own 15-yard line, he turned straight at the field, and there was a hole there. All he had to do was outrun the kicker. It was easy. Nice blocking job by Arizona, and each team has had a kickoff return for a touchdown here in the second half.
Virgil Gray coming into the game had 13 of the returns, with Harvey taking another 3. On his fourth one, he takes it the distance for the touchdown. It already had a 40-yard return earlier this year as well. We'll keep it here with our timeouts here in this third quarter. All the scoring we've had, we're caught up on timeouts as the Arizona Rattlers go back out front 42-35.
Kansas City has fought back and tied this game 3 different times. It's 7-7 right away early in the ball game, 28-28. And 35-35. This tie did not last long. Kansas City's not been ahead as Arizona went right down the field. Arizona's led by as many as 14 points in the first half. And what's been amazing is both these kickers, one signed this week for Arizona and one in Kansas City's Brian Umstead, who's never made a field goal, have not missed a PAT. But that could have easily been a missed PAT. The ball was snapped so high that backup quarterback Trevor Harris had to stand straight up and reach up to catch the football, yet he was able to bend down, put the ball down, and get it there in time for the kicker to boot it through. Amazing job by the backup quarterback, and we still are 100% accuracy on PATs tonight for both teams.
And a good job by Brandon Harvey coming in for his first kick return. This one into the slack netting, hit by a fan, and so that one will come out to the 5-yard line. Wise, no chance for a return there. You can't blame that kickoff. The kickoff earlier this year that was returned in the San Jose ball game was a poor kickoff, and that, frankly, that was part of the factor in deciding to make a change there from Mike Salerno, who started the year with the club. It was a short kickoff that was taken by Rodney Wright in return for the touchdown. That time, that one went into the slack netting. That's just what the kicker's trying to do. But a great job by Harvey pulling it out of there and getting the 57-yard return.
Yeah, Harvey just made a veteran play on that play.
So here's 1st and 10 for Kansas City at the 5. Back to pass goes Ratterink. Checks off a receiver, now throws to the far side to Hosack, who got pushed up against the wall, and officials say Marquise Floyd just got a piece of him with him up against the Arby's logo over there. So it's a 6-yard gain. The fans thought Hosack slipped away without being touched up against the wall and could have been in a foot race down the left sideline.
If you bounce off the wall, you're not down. If you get shoved into the wall, you are. So did he get touched while he was leaning against the wall? He thought not and took upfield. The fans thought he was going maybe all the way for a touchdown. They said, no, he's down. Do you want him to hit you even harder? You're lucky he didn't hit you harder.
2nd and 4. Now here's a wide receiver screen to Savoy, and he makes the catch and gets another 8 yards or so up to the 19 to move the chains. It's 1st and 10 for the Command up at the 19-yard line, and now this offense seems to be in a little bit of a rhythm stand. It just helps so much when you have some success on first down.
Yeah, that's a rhythm throw. That's the type of call that D'Anthony Bartow, the head coach and offensive coordinator, will have once in a while because he likes the screen game, but he also just wants his quarterback to get used to completing a pass real crisply, and that's exactly what they got, a first down completion out to the 19.
Out near midfield with Smith in motion on the left side of Ratterink. He's back to pass. Now a pass rush comes up the middle, and down goes Ratterink back at the 10-yard line. And Taj Hawthorne comes right up the middle from the nose tackle position, got free late, and gets the sack for a loss of 8 back to the 11.
He dominated center Kamani Jones on that play and was in the quarterback's face. A great job by Antaj Hawthorne. And this is a football player that had 2.5 sacks in a Tulsa game, and he has 3 sacks already after having 6.5 sacks last year. He actually was a 6th-round pick of the Oakland Raiders back in 2005, and he showed his talent on that play.
So now they're behind the chain. 2nd and 18. Quick throw looking for Savoy. Pass is incomplete.
See how rhythm can be broken with a sack? I mean, there's nothing faster in football, outdoor, indoor, wherever. You put pressure on a quarterback, you get to the quarterback and sack him, it's negative yardage, it's a down, and it also is really hard on the confidence of the quarterback and the football team. We talked about the rhythm just a couple of seconds ago, how Kansas City's offense seemed to get the rhythm back, that he didn't start the half with it, they got it back, and all of a sudden they don't look so good again after a nice defensive play.
3rd and 18 now at the 11. They need some yards here. Ratterink back to pass. He's got time. Throws, and it is a diving play for an interception. Virgil Gray did not make the interception, but it is an incompletion. And it's now 4th and 18 from the 11. And now I think this time they're going to kick it away. Going to try the long field goal attempt here on 4th and 18 from the 11.
Brian Umstead's done a better job of kicking. You talked about how he didn't look very good against Spokane, even on his kickoffs. He was very nervous that first week. I thought he kicked well last week. Given an opportunity, his kickoffs have been straight. So we'll see if he can hit it this time in from 44 yards.
That is 54 yards. Umstead puts his leg into it, and it's going to be short, but over the back wall of the end zone. No chance for a return for Harvey. And these field goal returns are especially dangerous from that far away, because it's hard to get down and kick coverage that quickly. Harvey had some room to run if he could have made the catch. So another stop for the Arizona Rattlers, and now it's on the shoulders of this Kansas City Command defense with 2:47 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, you said it well. It's so much more dangerous when you kick it, because in the kickoff you have all your DBs, linebackers, receivers, fast guys out on the field to cover the kick. This is no different. It's just like a kickoff. It could bounce off the rebound net, except for you got your big old lineman in there who would have to cover.
Back to pass goes Davila from the 5-yard line. Flag flies. He hits Windsor, makes the catch, touches the wall, but can't elude Sergio Gillum. Dropped at the 17-yard line. It's offsides against the Command. That's the 3rd one. But the penalty is declined because of the completion. It goes as a 12-yard gain to the 17. But from here on out, Stan, every offsides penalty will result in an automatic first down against the Command.
It's a new rule now. Get the accumulation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't start at each half. It's the whole game. So from now on, each 5-yard penalty will add the automatic first down. And it's been something that Kansas City struggled with early in the year.
Well, it looked like Harvey was offsides, the high motion man. They complete the pass to Windsor, who gets pushed up against the boards by Jeremy Gray. First time we've called his name tonight for the rookie. As he gets to the 23, does Windsor, and that's going to be a first down. It's right at the chains. Stan, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it looks like they are not too particular. We haven't seen a measurement yet this year. If it's close to first down yardage, they give it to them.
Yeah, they try to keep the game moving.
This football right at the 23 in Kansas City territory for a 10-yard catch from Windsor. Here's Davila faking the handoff, now throwing to Windsor. Windsor in traffic, gets up near the 15, It's a gain of 7 on first down.
It's a down the line pass, just uses athleticism, not a lot of blockers in front of him like sometimes you get with wide receivers. He's just so athletic. He is a dominant type player. And right now, Nick, as you look out here, just about a minute left in the third quarter. Kansas City's down by a score. This game has not had a turnover. This is when you got to stand up and do something like get a turnover, change the odds of the ball game. The defense hasn't allowed Arizona to move easily and score easily, but they haven't been able to stop them very much. A turnover would be big now.
Here's Windsor in motion on second and short. Pass is thrown out to the near side, left of Davila, complete to Harvey for first down yardage just inside the 10. It'll be first and goal for the Rattlers at the 9-yard line.
And it's good quarterback play by Nick Davila to take the short receivers. He's saying we don't have to score in just 3 or 4 plays. If it takes us 6, 7, 8 plays, that's fine. We've got the lead. There he just threw it to the easy receiver, the check down receiver, but he was past the first down marker. Very smart, safe play to avoid exactly what I talked about, turnovers. There's a reason why Arizona has a +8 turnover margin this year.
Rattlers have had some trouble in the red zone at times this year. They've got a first and goal at the 9. They throw short, complete at the 3-yard line. Immediately dropped is Trandon Harvey, but it's a gain of 6. And Carlton Brown made the stop. And it will be second and goal at the 3. No such trouble really today for Arizona, except for at the end of the first half when they ran out of clock. Kansas City hasn't got a stop for 4 full downs yet in this football game. They trail at 42-35 with Arizona knocking on the door, trying to make it a 2-score game. We'll take a timeout at the end of the third quarter here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The University of Kansas Hospital is an academic medical center. The doctors are different here. They excel in caring for patients while also advancing the power of medicine as researchers and professors. Dr. Doug Burton is a spine surgeon. He's exploring the link between tobacco and the way bone grows.
Nicotine slows how bones heal. So before we do any surgery, we help our smokers get smoke-free. Thinking that way contributes to our patient satisfaction scores, which are among the highest in the nation.
In fact, the University of Kansas Hospital cares for the most complex cases of any hospital in our area. And all the while, they treat patients with such respect that patient satisfaction scores are in the nation's top 10%. Learn more at kumed.com/advancing. The University of Kansas Hospital, advancing the power of medicine.
Hey, I thought you and the boys were doing some environmental cleanup thing today.
We are.
Well, it looks more like you're going fishing.
We are.
Conservation is easy. Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. To learn about all the ways your participation in boating and fishing help the environment, visit takemefishing.org/conservation.
Intuit Small Business presents Payroll Taxes in 30 Seconds. When quarterly taxes are due, Intuit Online Payroll reminds you. 1 click to start, a few more to approve and pay. We even fill out the forms. And we're done with seconds to spare, which gives me plenty of time to finish painting this lion's toenails. Good kitty. Try Intuit Online Payroll free for 30 days at Intuit.com. We do the legwork so you can do what you love. Intuit. Small business rejoice.
Second down and goal just inside the 3-yard line for the Arizona Rattlers. They throw for the back of the end zone. Trandon Harvey is wide open. He makes the catch for the score about 7 yards deep in the end zone. And Arizona, after forcing the missed field goal, Kansas City having to kick a 54-yarder because they were facing 4th and 18. And then the Rattlers drive right down the field and score on a 45-yard drive to take a lead of 48-35 with this extra point pending.
Kansas City tried to stick him at the line of scrimmage, but when they whiffed, there was no one with him as he went along the back boards for an easy touchdown reception.
Scotchy has been perfect, and he remains so. 49-35 at the start of the fourth quarter, 14:21 to play. We'll take a timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You're listening to Command Football.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Look at you with the top down.
Back in 30.
Allergies would never let you drive. Me neither. Every spring, my sinus congestion and pressure was so bad. But that was before Allegra.
Allegra D provides fast, non-drowsy relief of your toughest symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, and itchy, watery eyes. It even reduces inflammation and swelling that can cause congestion and pressure.
So now the top's down and your symptoms are gone. After Allegra, I have it all.
Use as directed starts working at hour 1. Learn more at Allegra.com.
This ball bounces high off of the kick return net, and then Wise goes up again, and he's down the right sideline, and he gets pushed up against the boards, taking a sign down with him, a Michelin sign, returned it all the way out across the 20. A flag is down, but I think this is a violation of the halo rule against Arizona.
Yeah, the ball popped so high in the air that they came inside the 5-yard line before he got the football. So they were close, but he just pushed through and started racing down the right sideline. And when the kicker gave him a shove, he went out of bounds, but he didn't stay on the outside of the padding. He actually got shoved inside the padding like you're going in underneath the covers of your bed. The padding came flying down, and he was stuck on the inside. But what a great return again. Christian Wise having a fine performance returning the football for Kansas City.
Well, you could make a case for Wise being MVP of this football game despite the fact he doesn't have a catch. Really has only been at wide receiver on a select few plays when they had a couple of injuries in the first half, Smith and Hosack going down briefly, but he has been a weapon in the return game. Now that they've sorted it all out, this is going to be put down at the 14-yard line. Outstanding return by Christian Wise. They tack 5 on at the end of that, I guess, even though the
still get the advantage of the penalty.
Still get the penalty, so they still assess the penalty and moved it down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a short field for the Kansas City Command with 14:09 to play, fourth quarter.
By far the best field position that Kansas City started with. The best before this was their own 9-yard line. Got to score quickly. You're down by 14. It's the biggest deficit that Kansas City has had. They've been there a few times in the first half.
Here's Savoy in motion. High motion man, slot left. It's Ratterink being flushed out to the left. He throws, and it's incomplete just off the fingertips of Brett Smith. Almost a really good connection right there. Ratterink making some plays with his feet. He's thrown pretty well while on the move this year, Stan, but in this game has struggled a little bit throwing while in motion.
You notice that he's been flushed to his left all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bad break or great coaching by the Arizona defense to flush him that way. But this time he got his shoulders turned through an accurate pass away from the defender, low and catchable, but unfortunately Brett Smith just dropped the ball.
Smith in motion. Back to pass goes Ratterink, throwing for Savoy underneath, and Savoy makes the catch at the 3. Ball comes loose late. Hosack dives on it in the end zone. He got it for the touchdown. Well, that's not the way you draw it up, but it's going to go as a touchdown for the Kansas City Command. A 12-yard completion to Savoy, who fumbled it in the end zone, where it's recovered by Hosack for the score.
Ball game was on the line as that ball rolled toward the end zone. Kansas City's already down by 2 scores and hit at the 2-yard line after a nice completion and catch by Steven Savoy. The ball had been fumbled, and if Arizona would have got on it, it would have been ball game. But hustling downfield, Aaron Hosack pulls it in, and Kansas City has a touchdown.
Umstead deflects it off the left upright, but into the slack netting. The extra point is good. The Command draws back within 7, 12:28 to play, fourth quarter. We'll take a timeout on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
You know how to tell if a man is serious about the work he does with his hands? Look at his feet. If he stands in a pair of Red Wing boots, that means he stands for something. He cares about the work he does and the crew he works with. He works with his brains as much as his brawn. Work is craft. Work is complex. Work is family. Work is pride. Red Wing work boots are purpose-built for the exact work you do. Red Wing shoes. Work is our work.
These are the sounds of someone taking their eyes off the road. Texting while driving is more than distracting. It's dangerous. Do us all a favor. When you're on the road, stay off the phone. A message from CTIA, America's wireless companies, and the National Safety Council.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around, does it make a noise?
Yep. Be like the 4 million who switched to Geico last year, and you too could start saving money. For a free rate quote, visit geico.com to see how much you could save. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Harvey dropped the football, and he goes and picks it up in the back of the end zone, and the officials blow the play dead, so Harvey doesn't get killed. And this will come out. Will they bring it out to the 5?
Should be 2.5.
They're going to bring it out to the 5.
It must have been someone touching the football.
Nope. Now they're going to put it back there at the 3.
If you have to return it out of the end zone. If you don't bring it out, they'll put it at the 3-yard line. If it goes through the slack net like an old-fashioned touchback, or if the guy booted it over the nets, over the top, you would get the ball all the way out to the 5-yard line. If you kick it out of bounds, you get it at the 20-yard line.
Christian Wise is being treated to by trainer Travis Neff. Looking like maybe working on the back of his leg on the left side, left hamstring. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rattlers, and now the command needing a stop. But you know what? I watched that game against Orlando back last week, and it was the Rattlers in this position. Down an extra score and sometimes 2 scores. Needed that stop, didn't get it till 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Stan, and managed to win the game with a late score. So the command staying within a touchdown. They're in striking range. Now Windsor makes a short catch and then spins out of a tackle, gets all the way across midfield before Chavez tracks him down at the 22.
Well, all you've got to do is look at the first half when you talk about those comebacks. Kansas City was behind by 14 most of the first half against Arizona, and they just made 1 sack, 1 stop, 1 play right before the half, and they're within 7. This time they started with the football, so it's a little bit easier to come back into sequencing here, but it's just a play or two here in arena football, and you can be right back in the game. Arizona was behind by 21 points in their last game. They really never had a lead all game long until right at the end, and still came away with the win, and they're undefeated playing tonight.
Command have not led in this one as Davila drops back to pass on 1st and 10, finds the tight end, and he rumbles down inside the 10-yard line. Devin Clark with his first catch of the year gets all the way down to the 10, a gain of 11, and first down. Looks like it'll be 1st and goal for the Rattlers right at the 10-yard line.
And when you say tight end, that just means one of the guards who walks up to the line raises his hand up.
325 pounds tight end.
He's just a lineman, okay? So when you throw a screen pass to him, it's pretty amazing to see him catch the football and then get upfield. And Devin Clark did a great job of it.
Now here's Reed in motion. All 3 receivers now to the left side. Davila throws for Windsor. He is popped behind the line of scrimmage. Sergio Gillum anticipated the play and made the stop on Windsor. A loss of 1 back to the 11. 2nd and goal.
Sergio Gilliam is a guy we haven't said a lot about tonight. Arizona smartly keeping the football away from him after he had 3 interceptions in the last game, but this time he came up and made a sure tackle at the line of scrimmage against the guy who may be getting a little bit tired. He has his hands on his hip, the universal sign of a football player being a little exhausted. And why wouldn't he be? The superstar tonight is Bedrod Windsor. He's got over 175 receiving yards already.
Here's Davila on 2nd and goal at the 11. Throws near side for Windsor. Makes a man miss. That's Gillum, and he fights his way to the end zone for the touchdown. 11 yards scoring strike. Boy, in Windsor, you see that NFL talent right there, Stan. Did a great job of juking Gillum and getting just enough space to lean over the goal line for the score.
Great individual play. They threw the ball short, like you said. He had to bust through 2 defenders and dive into the end zone. He shouldn't have made it all the way, but he did. And he just has a higher talent level. There's no doubt studying him going into this game that he has that, and he's shown it here tonight against the Command.
Extra point good. It's 49-30. 49. What is it?
It's
56 to 42. Beg your pardon. 56-42 is our score with 9:19 to play here in the fourth quarter. Timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get your football fix. Arena football is back. Feel the rush when the Kansas City Command take the field at Sprint Center for the 2011 season. From high-flying catches to non-stop hard-hitting plays, your family won't want to miss a minute of fast-paced action. Season tickets for the 9-game home schedule start at just $100 and are on sale now by calling 816-949-7177 or SprintCenter.com. Get your football fix now.
People come to Ruth's Chris for more than just a great steak. They come to let off some steam. Take Rob, Joe, and Shelley. When they get wrapped up in a week-long assignment at work, they head on over to Ruth's Chris for a much-needed break over some sizzling steak served to perfection. It's a chance for them to loosen up, have a few laughs, and talk about anything. Anything but work, that is. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, serving more than just sizzling steaks.
Another last-minute adventure from Hotels.com.
It was midnight, my girlfriend's first time camping.
The great outdoors were grand until...
She begged me to take her to a hotel.
But he didn't, because he didn't know about last-minute deals from Hotels.com and all the great rates nearby. And now...
I'm all alone.
Life happens, and when it does, Hotels.com has a last-minute deal. Find over 20,000 last-minute deals every week. Hotels.com. Be smart. Book smart.
Scaccia to kick it away. Christian Wise got tended to a little bit, but he's in there to return that kick. Fields it low off the netting. Tries to spin out of the tackle, then runs right into McCullough, the Jack linebacker, who spins him down at the 6-yard line, where the Command will take over 1st and 10. Trailing 56-42 with 9:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. Nick McCabe and Stan Weber high above the University of Kansas Hospital field here inside Sprint Center.
Kansas City's got to work on a comeback. They've never come back from a halftime deficit this year. They're 0-3 and won a ball game, but it can definitely be done. You have to look at the first time these two teams played. Back in March 30th of 2007, Kansas City was behind by 21 points, came back and won the game in their first overtime ever.
Savoy, the high motion man. Now flag flies because that's the linebacker out of the box, I believe. Rattlers just throws it away. That's in the area of illegal defense. Did the quarterback pump fake, which would negate the flag. He did not. So it'll repeat first down at the 11-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5 now.
The MAC linebacker cannot leave the box. He has got to stay in the middle of the field. The Jack linebacker can go sideline to sideline as long as he doesn't get deeper than 5 yards. So it looked like it was an instance where, with the anticipation, like he talked about, maybe the viewing of what he thought was a pump fake, that the MAC linebacker might have left the box and he gets called for a penalty.
Rattlers with Hosack in motion. He's going to throw short, but over the head of Smith. And it'll be 2nd and 5. Well, that's apparently the legal defense is an automatic first down, so it's 2nd and 10 now.
Second down. So they'll have an extra down, but a lot of pressure is put on by this Arizona defense because of the instincts and the size of that MAC linebacker, Tyree Glasper. He was right in the quarterback's face that time, forcing him to throw the ball inaccurately.
Here's Rattlers on 2nd and 10, sending Smith in motion to the left side. He'll throw to a wide-open Hosack. Flag flies again in the middle of the field. Hosack gets it out to the 23-yard line. And again, as you look down there on the field, Stan, the Jack linebacker nowhere to be found, but this time it's going to be holding against the Kansas City Command.
And that's part of that pass rush we're seeing from Arizona. The offensive line and fullback Victor Mann do a good job of blocking, but this defense is really a good pass rushing team and putting a lot of pressure on. And that time, even though it was a wide open receiver, you're exactly right. The holding is going to negate that, and Kansas City is going to be moved back to just past the 5-yard line.
At this part of the field, it's only about a 5.5-yard penalty.
Yeah, the half the distance to the goal, not so bad.
But it does negate the first down throw from Rattering. Now he's back to pass on 2nd and 15. Down the field, he goes for Savoy, but overthrew him. Savoy cut the route off, and he threw it over his head with Virgil Gray in coverage.
Yeah, he threw it as if it was a 45-degree angle, but the receiver had squared it off, thinking, I have an open area right along the right board. And that's just experience where you got two guys on the same page. There's really no right answer because the quarterback should throw away from the defender and the receiver should go away from the defender. Even though it was called as a 45-degree angle cut, you all the time move to that open area. But this time, Ratterink, deep in the end zone, did not see it and overthrew him.
So now 3rd and 15. And again, a little bit of a trouble spot here for the Command. They throw short side, taking a short pass to Hosack. And it's caught out near the 14-yard line, and now 4th down and manageable, but still needing about 7 yards.
That's been a night where Kansas City's been forced to go for 4th down. 3 times already they've made 2 of the 3. They were at their own 1-yard line the one time they didn't make it, but they did a good job here on 3rd down of getting about half the yardage back. Now you're going to have to execute again on 4th down.
Got about 8. They need about 7 more. It's Savoy in motion. Back to pass goes Ratterink, throws, and it's incomplete. Virgil Gray almost had an interception, but it's still a turnover on downs. And Arizona takes over at the 14-yard line as we go under 6 minutes to play.
Not even close. The ball was thrown out toward the left side near the first down marker, and the receiver, Steven Savoy, was 5 yards deeper. Not even close to being completed. On that possession, they just were not on the same page. And something that's hurt the Command this year, penalties. They had that one nice completion that would have got them out near midfield, but the holding call called it back, and now they turn it over on downs.
Here's Harvey in motion. The Command desperately needing a turnover. Instead, it's a wide receiver screen to Windsor, who shows the ball, taunting Jeremy Gray all the way into the end zone. That draws a flag, but it's still going to be a touchdown for the Arizona Rattlers. Now, college football next year, Stan, that play would negate the touchdown, right? That's going to be a new rule where he was still on the field. He did not cross the goal line when he started the taunt.
Yeah, and it's where he starts the taunt because it's going to be a spot foul. So if he's run 60 yards or 20 yards or whatever, in this case about the 3-yard line where he started taunting, they would say no, it's a 15-yard penalty from there and no touchdown. But like normal football has been throughout history, the touchdown counts here, and the penalty is on actually after the kickoff is over.
So now a 3-score lead for the Rattlers, and the Command are in a hole, 63-42, 4:59 to play, 4th quarter. A quick timeout here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Angel Flight Central serves people in need by arranging charitable flights for access to health care and for other humanitarian purposes. Pilots who donate their planes, skills, and hearts to provide free flights for people in need. To find out more about Angel Flight Central, log on to angelflightcentral.org.
Sports Talk powered by fans. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City, the power of sports.
Baseball tonight, the Best Royals pregame show is back. I'm Danny Klingscale, your host, as all seam heads can tune in to Sports Radio 810 WHB for the latest news, interviews, and expert analysts. We'll have you covered from the ballpark before the boys in blue take the field. Kansas City's home for Major League Baseball. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Baseball Tonight is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company. Baseball and Boulevard. The taste of tradition continues with Boulevard Pilsner. Now available in bottles and on tap.
Well, Stan, we said it at the top of the broadcast. Arizona's a good football team, and so far they have not been stopped by Kansas City defensively except when they ran out of clock at the end of the first half. Now, it was a good stop defensively for the Command. It wasn't like Arizona got the ball with 3 seconds to go or something, but now here's Wise bringing it out of the end zone. He's going to be cut down at the 12-yard line as flags fly from both directions. But
You're
still,
right.
they've taken advantage offensively.
Even in that possession, they were in the red zone when they got stopped, and it wasn't because of downs they got stopped. The clock literally ran out in the half. So it's been a very efficient offensive night for Arizona. They've had 9 possessions, 8 touchdowns, and that doesn't count another touchdown that they got on a kickoff return for touchdown here in the second half. So a high-scoring 63 points from Arizona. A very good scoring football team, but they really have been great on defense this year. And you put the fact that they don't turn over the football, they don't get penalized very often, and they have this kind of efficiency in the passing game, they're a very hard team to beat. And the one thing that they have is a player who may be good enough to make an NFL roster this fall. Literally a part of the Cleveland Browns right now, Rod Windsor, wants to stay in shape. He's taking a risk, hardly getting paid compared to what you might make as an NFL player, but he wants to keep in rhythm, so he came back to the place that made him a star last year at Arizona. He's back playing arena football while the NFL is sitting out, and he has been dominant just like we thought he might be going into the game.
Now Arizona just steps across the line. Marcus Pittman, because he says Cornelius Dixon flinched, wasn't getting the call, and then stepped across the line. Now the officials huddle. They did not throw this flag till Pittman much later went across. And that's probably the right call, but it was delayed.
And Taj Hawthorne decided, hey, I'm going to take a chance and officiate this game myself for a second. We'll step in here, risk taking a 5-yard penalty, but force the hand of the officials, and sure enough, they saw it the same way he did. It's a penalty against Kansas City.
So now 1st and 10 from back at the 3-yard line. Here's Ratterink throwing over the middle. Tough catch made by Steven Savoy for a first down at the 22-yard line. And we've seen this a couple of times too, Stan, where even when Kansas City makes a solid catch, Arizona's there with a physical hit. This is a 19-yard gain and a first down, though, for Kansas City.
They've had amazing ability to break on the ball, and this time where the receiver was in the mid area, he got hit from both sides. A guy who would normally hit him from behind and someone who scrambled back hit him in front. He got sandwiched with a hard hit.
Here's Hosack in motion. He makes a tough catch while hand fighting with Marquise Floyd down the field. He wanted a flag on top of it. Made the catch anyway. Up at the 14-yard line, another first down. This time a gain of 14 on the play.
Good throw and nice physical catch like you'd expect from Aaron Hosack, pulling it away from a defender that was right on him, and Dan Tabarto runs out and gets a play called very fast.
Now here's Savoy in motion. Kansas City trailing by 21 late in the fourth quarter. Quick pass caught by Smith at the 10-yard line, pushed out of bounds. That does not stop the clock until there is 1 minute or less remaining in the game. So the clock continues to move as we dip under 3 minutes to play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 from the 10-yard line for the Command.
Brett Smith really hasn't done a lot. He's been slowed since he came back from injury. Has not been a giant factor here in the second half.
Savoy in high motion right slot. Ratterink throws over the middle, intercepted by the safety Vince Hill. And that will put the cherry on top of this win for the Arizona Rattlers, barring a miracle comeback. We've seen probably, equally strange things in the arena football, but obviously Arizona with a 21-point lead and the ball with 2:42 to play. The Kansas City Command are staring at their 4th loss of the season.
That ball was forced in there, and there wasn't any reason for Vince Hill to be over the top of the receiver. It was about 4 or 5 yards deep in the end zone, so he just cut in front of the receiver, and J.J. Ratterink forced the ball in there. The receiver was not very open, and Hill makes a pretty easy interception in the end zone, the first turnover of the game.
Here's Reed, the high motion man. They'll lob it down for Windsor rather. Windsor caught it, pushed up against the boards by Carlton Brown, but a solid gain on first down. Call it 24 yards on the pickup to the 21 into Kansas City territory.
That's just an old-fashioned fade. In the outdoor game, you throw the ball on the line, the sideline high, and you just drop it in where the receiver can catch it. They did that here in the Arena League. A lot of times you can't do that, but the ball was so perfectly thrown right over the board that Windsor's able to reach over, catch it while he stays inbounds.
Now all kinds of movement. It looked like the Command defensive line flinched, but then that caused Arizona to flinch. Nobody into the neutral zone for Kansas City, so this penalty will be against the Rattlers.
Carvajo, the Brennan Carvajo, the center, did not snap the football on time, and it just caused all kinds of problems. The high motion guy went past the line of scrimmage because he was in a rhythm. The ball just didn't get to the quarterback in time, so a penalty against Arizona.
The false start, just a 5-yard penalty. When the high motion man is offsides, that is a 10-yarder on the offense. And here is Harvey, the high motion man. Stays on sides, and it's a pass underneath the Reed. And he has got a first down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal at the 7. Good gain there for Arizona. Moves the chains. And we'll get to the 1-minute warning. The Rattlers on top, 63-42. The Command just haven't been able to get the stops they've needed defensively and haven't been real crisp on offense. They played with fire all night long and have been able to make some plays to stay in the game, but right now they trail by 21 at the 1-minute warning here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
It's spring. Time for some fresh, entertaining ideas.
Member Paula Wickenstein on the Spring Taste of Sam's Club Open House. Sample and shop free with no upcharge.
I get to taste before I make my menu, so I know my guests will love it all.
Fresh meats and produce, delicious sides, and more. All you have to do is
spring into Sam's Club.
The Spring Taste of Sam's Club, April 15th through 17th, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Not a member? Join at the event and get a free cookbook. Details at samsclub.com/spring. Sam's Club. Savings made simple.
Command will be back in action here in Sprint Center on April 29th, a week from this coming Friday, in 13 days as they take on the Dallas Vigilantes, looking to avenge that season opening loss. 7:30 kickoff. Game will air here on Sports Radio 810. First 2,500 fans will receive a Command rally towel. This pass into the end zone, looking for Reed. Carlton Brown got tangled up with him. It's going to be defensive pass interference. And move the football inside the 5-yard line where Arizona will have it 1st and goal.
I think there's 2 different penalties.
So we'll replay the down.
Yeah, the high motion guy got past the line of scrimmage too quickly, and then there was the penalty in the end zone against the Command. It all just goes by the wayside, and it's just 4 more seconds burned off for Arizona without costing them a down.
Our next broadcast will be Friday night from Chicago as the Command head up to Allstate Arena to take on division rival, the Chicago Rush. Here's the motion man Reed. They're going to throw for him, looking for the end zone fade, and that is incomplete. Carlton Brown in coverage. 53 seconds to play. And the clock stops. Rush have had a good start to the season. Really, this is just a murderous schedule to start the year, Stan. 3 games on the road to start the year, all against good teams. Then you get a game against Iowa, who had a winning record when they came in here. And then Arizona, who looks, you can't really make any arguments about them being certainly among the best in the league. And then Chicago out to a 3-1 start. They go back on the road to them next week. Here's a pass in the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Devin Clark, who got his first catch of the season earlier, and that was over his head. Made a pretty athletic leap at it, but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, he was overthrown, but he was wide open. You don't see that very often. They've had their tight end, basically one of their linemen, who's allowed to run downfield and be eligible. They had him go downfield, which meant they only had 3 blockers. They just took a chance that they'd get the football off and that Kansas City wouldn't recognize that he'd slipped into the end zone. And they didn't. No one was around him, but with a little pressure on him, the quarterback, Nick Davila, could not deliver the ball accurately, threw the ball over Devin Clark's head.
So here's 3rd and goal from the 7. Davila under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Trey Bryant got the sack. Bryant has had to play nose tackle almost the entire game because Michael Landry got kicked out of the game in the first quarter. apparently it was quiet when they said it, but apparently got into the official, touched the official, and got ejected from the game. So with 40 seconds to go, it's 4th down and goal from the 13-yard line. Command, though, still in a 21-point deficit. Would need a pretty miraculous 40 seconds to come back and get this game to overtime.
And you talked about how Arizona struggled a little. 67% of the time they've scored a touchdown in the red zone. And Kansas City's been very good holding teams to a 62% touchdown red zone ratio.
Here's Davila under pressure on 4th down. Now steps up in the pocket, throws. It's intercepted. Intercepted and returned by Sergio Gillum. His 5th pick of the year. He's now #1 in the Arena Football League in that stat. Returns it out to the 14-yard line. And the Command will take over with 29 seconds to go. But again, needing 3 touchdowns in 29 seconds. So really, at this point, even in this crazy league, this is getting close to an impossibility. But still, you can work on getting back into a rhythm and having some confidence going into the next game against Chicago.
Well, defense finished off strong. They got a sack. They got an interception. They did not lay down. It's surgical the way Arizona has played offense tonight. It's not just a bunch of bombs or a bunch of breakdowns by the Command, so it's nice that they're able to make a couple of plays in the red zone.
Back to pass goes Rattlers. He's got time to throw. Now he's going to fire it deep down the field. Brett Smith can't reel it in. Pass broken up on a nice play by the safety once again who made that last interception. It's Vince Hill.
Vince Hill actually went for a pass interference during the route while the ball was in the air and then got to the ball and knocked it away. But what do you have to lose? It's only a 10-yard penalty. Smart play, but he didn't get called for it. It was a triple move down the middle. Pretty good throw by J.J. Rattlers to try to give Kansas City a chance. They needed to score real quick if they had any hope of coming back, even though the hope is very, very small for Kansas City at this point.
22 seconds to play. Rattlers going to throw over the middle, and that's complete. Rich Ranglin with the catch and gets across midfield to the 22-yard line. That's a gain of 14 yards and a timeout called by the Command with 15 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter.
Looking very athletic, Rich Ranglin, on the run. And these guys take some hard shots when they go down because where do the guys tackle the big guys?
Right down around the legs.
Yeah, right at that knee. And when you're running full speed and you're a lineman and you're not used to being tackled, the worst thing you can see is someone smashing into your knee. So these guys get flipped in big-time collisions. But Ranglin does a nice job on that 14-yard reception.
Most of the fans in attendance here tonight have hung on to the end because they'll get to go down on the field and get some free autographs from the Kansas City Command players after the ball game here tonight. Here's Savoy, the high motion man. Rattlers back to pass on 1st down. Got all kinds of time to throw. Now throws for the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Steven Savoy in the end zone. Hauls it in for a 22-yard strike. A flag is down on the play.
Jack linebacker probably left his area. And that play took a long time. And I think Steven Savoy's had a very good game tonight.
It's illegal contact against Riley Swanson.
It took a long time, and Savoy was working around in the end zone and finally just tucked up against the right board right at the goal line and started waving, and Rattlers was able to get him the football. Good protection up front by the offensive line and Victor Mann to give the quarterback that much time to throw the football.
Extra point from Umstead is up and perfect. And if there is a silver lining there, it's that Umstead has had his best kicking night by far, and in fact the best kicking night of the season for a Kansas City kicker. So he looks like he's maybe settled in and could be a weapon for this Command squad. They got a kick return for a touchdown. On the negative side, they gave up a kick return for a touchdown. It feels like they played okay on defense. They did not give up any big plays, but Arizona just surgical. And Dan Bardo said before the game, Stan, that Arizona does not make mistakes. They don't beat themselves, and that's exactly what they did tonight. They took what the Kansas City defense gave them, and let's face it, if an offense executes to perfection, the offense always wins in this game.
Yes, and when the most dominant player is a wide receiver in this league, it's easy to feature that guy, and it's hard to stop him. You basically can only have 3 defensive backs be a factor. The jack linebacker can't go more than 5 yards down the field, so you can't roll your coverage toward a receiver. You got 3 guys going out, 3 defenders. You got to play pretty straight up. That's what this game's about. It's a small area. They can't allow the defense to gang up and shut down offenses, it wouldn't be any fun to watch. But because of the dynamics we're talking about, you'll find a guy who's a dominant player like Rod Windsor show up, and he's done it with 16 receptions, 217 yards, and 5 TDs.
Now here's the onside kick. It didn't go far enough. Only got to the 9-yard line. Hosack touched it, but then it went out of bounds. Stan, I watched him work on onside kicks on Wednesday, and I don't know why they don't. If you onside kick it, the receiving team is allowed to just bat it out of bounds. And if they bat it forward, it's a 5-yard penalty, but who cares? You still retain possession. You get possession if you knock it out of bounds. So I don't know why teams don't try and kick it right up the hash mark. Just kick it right in the middle of the field so that comes out of play. And at the very worst, you make the receiving team field it.
Yeah, not a pooch kick, because pooch kicks are easy for the offense to stop with a fair catch.
And now here is the snap taken. And diving forward is Davila. He had to go forward, and he did. And so that will run out the clock with Arizona taking over at the 9-yard line. Davila sneaking it for a yard, and that takes us to the end of this ball game. The Kansas City Command fall tonight to Arizona, who played really, really well. They played like the top team in the Arena Football League. They came in here and played exceptionally well. Did not make mistakes tonight. They win it 63-49. We'll take a timeout. Hope to catch up with Coach Danton Bardo on the field with Stan Weber here in the postgame. And we'll get you final stats as well as we wrap this one up from Sprint Center here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get your football fix. Arena football is back. Feel the rush when the Kansas City Command take the field at Sprint Center for the 2011 season. From high-flying catches to non-stop hard-hitting plays, your family won't want to miss a minute of fast-paced action. Season tickets for the 9-game home schedule start at just $100 and are on sale now by calling 816-949-7177 or SprintCenter.com. Get your football fix now.
Need tires soon? Ask anyone. The best engineered tires on the planet are Michelin brand tires. Shop your local CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value anywhere on quality Michelin tires. Get outstanding safety, fuel efficiency, and long tread life. See how the right tire changes everything with Michelin tires. Experience your neighborhood family-owned CaseyTires.com retailer for the best value and service in town. Find us on the web at CaseyTires.com.
The University of Kansas Hospital is an academic medical center. The doctors are different here. They excel in caring for patients while also advancing the power of medicine as researchers and professors. Dr. Doug Burton is a spine surgeon. He's exploring the link between tobacco and the way bone grows.
Nicotine slows how bones heal. So before we do any surgery, we help our smokers get smoke-free. Thinking that way contributes to our patient satisfaction scores, which are among the highest in the nation.
In fact, the University of Kansas Hospital cares for the most complex cases of any hospital in our area. And all the while, they treat patients with such respect that patient satisfaction scores are in the nation's top 10%. Learn more at kumed.com/advancing. The University of Kansas Hospital, advancing the power of medicine.
Well, the Kansas City Command played okay defensively. They tried to get to Davila, made some solid plays defensively, but could never force a turnover and could never quite get a stop as Arizona made plays when they needed to offensively. Defensively, the Rattlers were very good here tonight, harassing J.J. Ratterink. They've been the best pass rushing team in the AFL. That trend continued here tonight without question as the Rattlers were able to get to Ratterink, and even when they didn't get him sacked, they were able to cause some errant throws, got a couple of key fourth down stops, and got the interception late to really clinch the game as they were able to go down and take the 3-touchdown lead. The Command never did lead in this game. Arizona got the football first. They were able to score it as a Rod Windsor 28-yard touchdown catch from Nick Davila just a minute into the game started the scoring. It was 28-21 at halftime. Arizona had the ball last, a chance to go up by 14, but the clock ran out on them. Not really time mismanagement, I wouldn't say, because you don't want to leave too much time on the clock, but then just didn't quite make enough plays. Kansas City had a chance to tie the game up going into halftime when Bradley Chavez undercut a throw from Davila, intercepted it, and returned it for a touchdown, but the play was brought back because of an offsides penalty, and that negated what would have been a huge play. And it really wasn't a factor. It wasn't like the guy offsides forced Davila into a quick and bad throw. Just a bad timing to have a guy offsides right there negated the return for a touchdown. So it was 28-21, and then the Command were able to keep it tied up. They scored on their first drive, the opener of the second half, with a Christian Wise 54-yard kick return for a touchdown. He was named Nifty Playmaker of the game as Wise tied it at 28. Then Windsor, another touchdown reception, took a 7-point lead for Arizona. Kansas City able to tie it back at 35, but then two straight scores for Arizona, sandwiched by a long missed field goal. The Command faced 4th and 18 from their own 11. They had to kick the 54-yard field goal. It missed, and then Arizona was able to score to make it 49-42. They were 49-35 rather. The Command drew back within 7 once at 49-42, but then again, two straight scores from Arizona, this time sandwiched around a J.J. Ratterink interception, trying to force a ball into the end zone to make the play that would try and keep Kansas City in the game, but it was not to be, as the Command come up short against a very good Arizona Rattlers squad here tonight. 63-49 is your final. Let's give you some final statistics from this one. Ratterink ends up 23 of 40, 245 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked twice in this game. Leading receivers were Savoy with 8 catches for 133 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hosack 8 catches, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brett Smith 6 catches, 41 yards, and a touchdown. He missed some time late in the first half due to injury and really never looked 100% in the second half. Hopefully he's okay long-term going forward. Rich Ranglin with 1 catch for 14 yards as Ratterink ran the football 3 times ran the football once, gained 3 yards. Victor Mann ran it twice and lost a yard net. And again, Christian Wise, 8 kick returns, 151 yards, including the 54-yard touchdown to start the second half. For the Arizona Rattlers, Nick Davila was pinpoint precision tonight, 29 of 36, 330 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Command did sack him 3 times, so they were able to get to the quarterback at times tonight, but not consistently enough to get the stops that they needed. Rod Windsor, how good was this guy? As advertised, no doubt about it. 16 catches, 217 yards, and 5 touchdowns tonight for Rod Windsor. A huge monster game, even in the Arena Football League, where yards and points can pile up. That was a monster game from Rod Windsor. Trandon Harvey, who came into the game as the leading receiver, and he'll exit the game just barely holding on to that distinction. Here comes Rod Windsor chasing him down for that distinction. 8 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown tonight. 3 catches, 33 yards, and a touchdown for Kerry Reed. Devin Clark with a catch for 11 yards. Glenn Fox a catch for 8 yards. Some of the overall statistics, total yardage, 319 to 238 in favor of Arizona. And the kickoffs ended up about even because Kansas City gave up a kick return for a touchdown as well. Arizona 3 of 4 on third down, 0 of 1 on fourth down. Kansas City was 2 of 7 on third down, 2 of 4 on fourth down. Penalties, both teams had some penalties tonight. 9 penalties for 64 yards for Arizona, 8 penalties, 43 yards for the Kansas City Command. They committed some penalties on offense down in their own goal line area. So some half the distance to the goal lines negated some of the length of those penalties. Plus, Arizona had some 10-yard penalties tonight, fairly consistently committing several defensive pass interference penalties tonight. One huge penalty for the Command was an unsportsmanlike against Michael Landry that resulted in his ejection. And Stan Weber, if you can hear me, let's bring you in downstairs. And that was potentially a huge turning point in this game because Kansas City was playing pretty well defensively early on, but Michael Landry takes himself out of the game with the penalty and the ejection, and Kansas City was very thin on the defensive line from then on.
They were, and you think about the injuries going into the ball game. for Kansas City. Bobby Payne not available. He decided not to suit up Rico Reese. So here you go. You got 4 guys, and Michael Landry's coming off an injury. He takes over that nose guard position, even though he's been the starting defensive end with Bobby Payne not there. And then Landry gets injured, which forces Brandon Jenkins, who plays in his first game this season as a defensive end, to slide on down and be the nose guard the rest of the game. And in this league, the nose guard cannot line up other than straight on the center and battle him all game long. No advantages about having an outside rushing ability. You can't slide over and try to take a gap. And yet I thought Brandon Jenkins did a nice job. Kansas City tonight had 3 sacks in the game. They've only had 3 sacks all year. So hand it to Brandon Jenkins coming in for his first game of the year to play defensive end and then nose guard starting in the second quarter. And how about Trey Bryant? Last week he made a big play recovering a fumble in the end zone that turned the game toward the command in the final stretch. And tonight he ended up with a sack playing the defensive end position off the bench. So you got to be ready to play, and Trey Bryant was tonight. Now we get a chance to be joined by the head coach of the Kansas City Command, and that is Danton Bartow. Danton, thanks for coming out. I know it's a tough game, but I guess the first thing we got to start with is a little credit for the opponent. Coming into the game, the most dominant player out there is Rod Windsor. It's hard to stop in Arena Football League a guy like that because you can only have 3 defensive backs play against 3 receivers. Talk about the challenge of playing against this great player.
Oh, he's tough. I mean, you watch him all night. He catches a 4-yard pass and runs for 20 yards. And I mean, honestly, though, that's kind of some of our fault. You got to tackle the guy. You got to do whatever you can to tackle him. And it seemed like he was catching 4 or 5 yards. But that's been his thing in his career. I mean, the guy's an excellent athlete. He's strong. He's big. He catches little passes and makes big gains out of them. But, obviously we got to do a better job of tackling. We got to do a better job of teaching to tackle in practice.
Let's talk about a couple of situations. One early in the game where you're stuck on your 1, and another time in the second half you're down by 1 score and your offense gets stopped on 4th down. It looked just a little out of rhythm. There's a couple series here and there where it just didn't seem like JJ and the offense was in sync. What was going on in those few possessions?
Watching the game, honestly, as a coach, it looked all night like we were slow. I mean, it looked like we were running in mud all night. I really thought that, the whole game, it just seemed like we were playing slow all night. All our receivers, Hosack bodied up some balls, and they did some good things, but we just seemed slow tonight, and I don't know what that was. We looked tired and slow, and, so maybe we need to rest them a little more and take some off, and, as a coaching staff, I blame that on us.
That being said, you had some chances. The sack right before the half was the first stop after Arizona had gone 4 straight drives. But it allowed you some momentum. You're getting the football next, and you tied them up right away in the second half on that great kickoff return by Christian Wise. At halftime, you guys had to be excited about your opportunities.
Yeah, we felt good. We got a big stop. But, again, you look at the big stop we get, and that's the thing that keeps haunting us as a team is it's mental mistakes. We have a guy off sides that's not even involved in the play. Bradley picks the play off, goes for a touchdown. Those are momentum changers, and it just seems to us, sometimes when you're struggling, those little things come out and become major things. We've got to focus in. We got to quit doing just dumb penalties, honestly.
It seems like as you get ready to go for a tough road game at Chicago next Friday, a short turnaround, it's a little bit of everything. It's not like you're focused in on, hey, we got to improve on defense or offense. It seems like little parts of your game are just missing from where you want to be.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think we're a player here or there. We're probably 2 players away from being where we really want to be. I think we'll get some help next week, and the receiving corps can help us. With Tommy signing Saunders, I think he's going to be a very good player for us. And, we just got to keep, I told the guys, we've got to keep grinding. Nobody likes to hear it, but, I've been 1-7 and been to the conference finals. And, it's not something you think about or ever want to go through again. But, you can't panic. And that's why I told the guys, we're going to stay put. We're going to have to bring some new guys in. Guys are going to have to compete for their jobs, but we'll get this thing turned around.
And the other thing, for the first time ever, you have 18 games instead of 16, so you got a longer time to make that comeback. So good luck and get to work before you go to Chicago.
All righty, thank you.
That's Danton Bartow as his team tonight comes up a little short. Arizona, for the first time in their history, starts the season 5-0 behind the unbelievable receiving of Rod Windsor.
Yes, Dan, and Windsor was named the National Guard Most Valuable Player of the Game, as well as the Russell Athletic Offensive Player of the Game. Defensive Player of the Game was Carlton Brown for Kansas City, sponsored by Riddell. The JLS Ironman of the Game, Bradley Chavez, again for Kansas City. catch of the game. Steven Savoy's catch in the end zone where he went up and over the wall along the Sports Radio 810 WHB sign. That was a brilliant catch. And, again, I mentioned the nifty playmaker of the game was Christian Wise, a guy that has been terrific on kick returns. And, Stan, you're right. You're right there. It looks like you got a player there ready. Steven Savoy. I couldn't tell who that was down there.
Well, I do have Steven Savoy, and I thought was one of the real stars of the game. And we can talk about your offensive catches and touchdowns and all of that, but I want to talk about a play that I thought might be big if you were going to end up winning this game. First play on offense of the second half, the ball's thrown up. Should have been an interception, yet you somehow knocked the ball away to keep the drive alive. Tell us what was happening as you saw that ball coming down.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a little short, so I just tried to make a play on it, try to prevent him from going back and catching the ball. So I know that would have been a key turnover coming out of the half. I know we just scored on the kickoff return, and they returned back with a score. So I just wanted to make sure that I made at least an attempt on the ball, although it was a little short. But, we'll fix that next week.
It looked like you were in good rhythm with J.J. Ratterink after not playing last week. You had to be excited about being back on the field.
Yeah, no question. It was kind of hard last week not sitting out and watching them guys go to work. And I thought I would come back with a vengeance this week and try to help the team much as possible. Unfortunately, we fell a little short, but, we'll get it together next week.
There was a spot in the second quarter where, unfortunately, injuries were starting to hit. Brett Smith got slowed. Didn't come back until the second half, and then Ern Hozak got stoned at the line of scrimmage and had to leave. Didn't know if he's going to come back. They did, but at that point there was a lot of pressure on you being the only starting receiver. You had to feel the pressure. I got to step up and get open now.
Yeah, them guys helped me out as well. With them two going down and then returning at the same time, I try to step my game up much as possible. But unfortunately, we fell a little short tonight. But we're gonna get on the same page. We're gonna go back to the drawing board this week, and hopefully, we got Chicago Rush on national TV this week. So we're gonna get it together.
Got to ask you before we go. You had 2 straight home games after those 3 road games, but you didn't get to play in the first one. So what was it like playing here in front of the home fans at Sprint Center?
The crowd is good. We had a awesome crowd last week. This crowd this week was really nice. So hopefully we can continue that. We bring some more wins back at home. It's always good to play at home. We go away next week to Colorado Rush, so hopefully we can get that win and bring it on back.
That's Steven Savoy. Thank you very much. Steven Savoy had another 100-yard receiving day today, his 3rd of the season. I thought he did a fine job, but it was not enough to overcome Arizona tonight, Nick.
Stan, Christian Wise is down there, not the next table, but the table after that. I would love to maybe get his thoughts on that big kick return. Christian's a nice guy to talk to as well. So there's your first guy right there, and let's hear from Christian, see what he has to say about the ball game coming up big with a kick return touchdown here tonight.
Nick, I feel like a receiver, in the year 2050 when they're going to have the headsets on receivers so the quarterbacks can go, turn right, and throw the football. Someday, not only the quarterback will have the headset and hear the coach, everybody's going to hear everybody. So that's what I feel like right now. And I've taken your instructions perfectly, and I'm down here with Christian Wise. Christian, you've been close this year to get a kickoff return, but tonight you busted one 54 yards, and it was impressive. It had to be fun flying down the field.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, that's just the spark that we need, with our offensive defense. Special teams is a big part of arena football. And to be able to take something back, that's just that's a blow to the other team, definitely, in this game.
Great way to start the half. You tied the ball game there. Now, later, it looked like you came up maybe with a hamstring or something. Now, what was a little sore that you were laying on the field?
I was cramping up, and the cramp kept getting bigger, and that was just all that it was. So I had to have the trainer just massage it out, and they kept giving me nasty salt and Gatorade. But I stuck it out, and finished the game strong.
Nick, I think when he's, getting that massage, I'm not sure if he had a cramp or not, if he just wanted a massage there. Because, the next time they needed a kickoff return, Christian Wise is right back out there looking 100%, and you almost broke that one.
Almost. And it just takes one more block, but it's okay, though. We got to go next week against Chicago, and we're pretty much going to put our hard hats on this Monday and regroup and get it together.
You like getting a chance to play a little wide receiver because of injuries tonight. You had to step in the second quarter.
Indeed, and I actually play defensive back and wide receiver and returner. So, I'm the utility guy on this team, and I have no problem stepping in and handling any side of the ball.
Let me take that back. Maybe you did have a cramp with all that work. Congratulations on the return, and good luck in the next ball game. And it's great the kids are out here to get autographs, and these players, even after a loss, are very professional and friendly, as is the young man right here talking to me, Christian Wise, who had a 54-yard touchdown kickoff return tonight.
All right, Stan, let's wrap this one up. Get your final thoughts here on this ball game. Kansas City drops to 1-4, but, we knew going into the season, a brand-new team, it might take a little while to gel, and the added challenge of it being a really difficult schedule to start the season. This was a game coming in tonight. We knew that it was going to be a tough one against one of the top teams in the league. Going to Chicago next week is not going to be easy as well, but a chance for maybe Kansas City in the second half of the year certainly to make some hay. So it's really important for them to stay focused and keep that mindset that even at 1-4, especially with an 18-game schedule, as you mentioned to Coach Bardo, certainly nothing over in a pursuit for the playoffs here this season.
Well, Nick, I thought Kansas City would have to play almost a flawless game tonight to win this ball game, because when I watch the tape, I haven't seen many guys like Rod Windsor around the league, who I think is a legitimate, NFL backup type player, and who's fresh and excited about the opportunity to play, and he is just dominant. And it was hard to match up with a player like that unless some big plays were made here and there, a turnover, a tip ball, something like that, and it just didn't happen. Arizona was absolutely solid. Their defense, best in the league, was fine. Kansas City actually scored more points than anybody has against them this year on offense, but it wasn't a clean enough game, and with Rod Windsor dominating 200-plus yards receiving and 5 touchdowns reception, Arizona was a better team. Kansas City did not play bad tonight, just not good enough to beat an undefeated Arizona team. It may not get easy against Chicago. They're a tough team, but Chicago's not quite as good as Arizona. You take the fact that Kansas City's on the road, it's probably equally tough. But what we've seen all year long in the Arena Football League, this is a competitive league. 1-18, there's not that much difference between these teams. Upsets occur, and Kansas City needs one when they go on the road on Friday in Chicago.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I completely agree with your assessment here that the better team won. Now, who will be the better team in late July? You never know, as this Kansas City squad will have a chance to improve. And, hey, let's face it, this is something we didn't talk about, but Rod Windsor is kind of on loan to these Arizona Rattlers. When that NFL lockout ends, so does his Rattlers career, because he will be headed off to join the Cleveland Browns. So this could be a different Arizona team down the stretch of the season. Now, they're in a different conference, so Kansas City wouldn't face them till an Arena Bowl matchup. So it's definitely putting the cart way before the horse. But nevertheless, certainly teams evolve and change during the year. Kansas City going to have an opportunity to get better. Dan Bardo feels like they're still a player or two away.
Well, that's right, and it's not easy to beat a team like Arizona, and Kansas City had 2-game home stretch, but they still got 7 home games left. And right now you can't really worry about Arizona. If you're lucky enough to play them deep in the playoffs, that's great. Right now you just got to get back and think about getting to a 500 record. And with an 18-game schedule, that is doable. And if you get near 500, suddenly you're in the playoff talk, and it would be unbelievable to be a part of the playoffs. But it's first things first. This team just needs to understand how to win. And I thought tonight, like we talked with Danton Bartow, it's not one area that's a giant weakness right now. All parts of the team played pretty well. I mean, you could give every part of the team, including special teams, a B+. But B+ across the board for this team tonight is not good enough against Arizona. It would have been against many teams in the league. They just need to work with every area of their team and improve just a little bit. And I think that's good. That's much better than having a team that has an awful defense or doesn't have a quarterback that's good enough to win, something like that. I don't think they have that problem, but they do need to put together a stretch of wins. And mentally and emotionally getting used to doing that, learning how to win, is the thing that this team really needs to work on, because they've lost, a number of close games this year, and it's not going to end. People aren't going to be nice to you. You've got to go grasp the victory and take it away from the other team.
And, looking at the schedule, Stan, a final thought here, a chance maybe for that to happen as they go to Chicago next week, which is a real tough one. I think you and I maybe both felt like if you could steal one of these 2 wins and get home against Arizona and at Chicago next week, you'd really be in prime position. So still an opportunity to do that. Now you got to go win at Chicago. But then after that, Dallas, who's played well, but is a team that I feel like, having seen them, is right on Kansas City's level, and Kansas City will now have the home field advantage in that matchup, the next home game here at Sprint Center. And then in May, you play 4 straight teams, none of whom have a winning record, in New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Tulsa, and Spokane. So maybe a chance in May. The schedule, at least record-wise, lightens up. Maybe a chance, if Kansas City's hitting on all cylinders, to make some hay in the month of May.
Yeah, and you look at the playoffs, when you look around your conference, the National Conference, what you really got to look at is how far away in the loss column is a team that you got to catch to make the playoffs. And the fact is, even though Kansas City has 4 losses, the teams they have to catch have 2 already, and they're going to have a lot more. They're not a lot of dominant teams, so everyone's going to – most teams, I should say, are going to gravitate toward 500. So that's all you got to do is work your way back. And you're right. You have a real opportunity when you look at the stretch of New Orleans at Tampa, at Tulsa, and even Spokane back at home. Spokane really put on a show against Kansas City in Spokane with their back to the wall. But remember what their record was before that game? 0-3. So they're not a flawless team. They're not playing like they did last year when they were the champion.
Absolutely not. All right, and then I did misspeak. Arizona is in our conference, not in our division. We're in the National Conference Central. They're in the National Conference West, so wouldn't face Arizona in the Arena Bowl. It would be earlier in the playoffs, potentially, if they ever did meet Arizona. So, Stan, thanks for all your work tonight and down there on the field, talking to Christian Wise and Steven Savoy, 2 of the highlight makers here tonight for the Kansas City Command, as well as Danton Bardo. And, Stan, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks when we're back here against the Dallas Vigilantes on Friday, April 29th.
Okay, thanks a lot, Nick.
That's Stan Weber down on the field. I'll next talk to you on Friday night, this coming Friday night, from Chicago here on Sports Radio 810 as the Command travel to the Rush and take on a very good Chicago team that has played well all season long. They have been one of the better teams in the AFL. They were favored going into the season to win this division, and so far they have continued to play well. They were playing tonight against Tulsa, or against Iowa, rather, and they got a 50-49 win. Here before we sign off, San Jose beat Tulsa 42-33. Cleveland falls to New Orleans. That is a huge upset, 34-33, low-scoring affair. Orlando beat Georgia 48-43, and Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh 65-40. That's not a surprise. Jacksonville, one of the better teams in the league. So there's some scores for you before we sign off. You can follow the Kansas City Command on Twitter at KC Command, or friend them on Facebook, facebook.com/KC Command. You can also follow me on Twitter for Command Inside Info at KC Nick McCabe. Tweet me about the Command, and we'll have a Command conversation on Twitter. Would love to get that going in the social media. For Rod Trainer back in the studio, did a great job all night long. Stan Weber on the sidelines. Nick McCabe saying so long from Sprint Center and University of Kansas Hospital Field. Your final score, the Arizona Rattlers 63, the Kansas City Command 49. Command dropped to 1-4, but the Rattlers now 5-0 to start this 2011 season. We'll talk to you next Friday night from Chicago here on Sports Radio 810 WHB for Kansas City Command football.
Thanks for listening to today's broadcast of Kansas City Command Football. Brought to you by the University of Kansas Hospital, advancing the power of medicine. By KCTires.com.